Everything's going so well today. Welcome to the stream, everybody. We're having a little Hermitcraft stream, and it's going to be amazing. I do want to talk today about where the Hermitcraft videos have been, kind of where my head has been, and we'll just have some chill, fun, relaxing stream content today. Just hang out and do some landscaping, my little armor stands, and just talk. So welcome, everybody. Welcome, welcome, welcome. And let's get going on our adventure. Ow. Ah, I can't even fly. I can't even fly. But yeah, welcome, 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 everybody. And I just want to pop up here. And guys, sometimes I just like to go into this room and just chill out. And it's exactly what it's intended for when I built it. The wrong skin, you say. The wrong skin. Oh, I'm Spooky Scar. I am the Spooky Scar of the Life series.
Lady Meow77 tipped $10. It's my birthday next Sunday, and my birthday wish is for you to win MCC.
That's amazing. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And a very, very happy birthday to you.
Submariner Sunlight cheered X1000. Hello, Scar.
Hello there.
Your streams are my favorite kind of chaos, always full of surprises. D.
Dude, this is where my brain's at. You said, I can see the text of this. It says favorite kind of cheese. I thought it said, hello, Scar. Your streams are my favorite kind of cheese. And I'm like, I like that. I like that. I like the favorite kind of cheese. If I was a cheese, what kind of cheese would I be? That's a real question for you there, chat. So, like, thank you so much for the bits. Very much appreciated. Is that a wild zoom zoom?
Ethan_Crowley cheered X500. Hey Scar, I'm super sick right now, so I'll have to watch the VOD instead. Frown. Can I get a cat dog for future me?
Oh, I'm so sorry. Did you want a little bit of a little bit of a cat dog? I can do that for you. Boink boink. Oh, okay. I should have done that.
Trip cheered X300. Very happy to have a Scar stream on my birthday and sub anniversary. Makes my day even better. GTWS jelly hug.
Thank you for the support. Happy birthday. Okay, I'm ready. With a woof and a purr, a baby was born. Cat dog. Alone in the world without a little cat dog.
X400. Well, you are cheddar yellow, D.
That's true. The camera's weirdly yellow today, so I guess if I am a cheese, it would be cheddar cheese. I guess so. You want another cat dog? Okay. With a woof and a purr, a baby was born. Cat dog. Alone in the world without a little cat dog. There we go. I love Cat Dog. I'm bringing Cat Dog back, guys. I'm bringing it back. People are going to be searching in old Nickelodeon shows and be like, where's this Cat Dog that Scar speaks so highly of? Where is this show? I need this show. I need this show in my life. Anyway, what were we doing again? I was going to show you something up there. Completely forgot. Sidetracked. Flew down here for no particular reason. And we're singing about Cat Dog. This is a great stream, guys. We're starting off well.
300. Sky, you are a breed. Strong exterior with a soft and gooey kind center.
Oh, well, that was nice. That was very nice. And by the way, am I going to win MCC, or is our team going to win MCC next week? By the way, MCC is going to be very, very exciting. I've never met Phil, so that's going to be fun to meet Phil. Jojo, love being teamed with Jojo, love Jojo, and a fellow Washingtonian, and fellow resident of Scarland, mind you, Flip. We're going to have a great team. I think it's going to be fantastic. I do very well with Jojo. Jojo has like the right kind of leadership of like saying, do this, and not like yelling at you. Like, I like to have some direction in MCC, right? Like, I like somebody to be like, go here, do this, do that. And I'm like, sure, whatever you like. I'm here to help. I'm just happy to be here. And JoJo's fantastic at that. So I suspect gonna do pretty good. I'm gonna do pretty good. Very excited. No roller coaster belt. Oh. Don't rub it in. Don't rub it in that there is no roller coaster belt. Oh. Anyway, let's get started with our stream. So one thing I want to do is I want to start landscaping this area. This area was never complete, and I just want to chill, just want to hang out. I want to do some landscaping, have some fun, talk about where Hermitcraft's been, which is very important and very frustrating. But hopefully I can learn from you. You can learn from me about procrastination, overthinking, stuff along those lines. We have a Ren down. We've got a Red Dog down. Ow. I don't keep smashing my face. I'm gonna be down myself. So let's grab some supplies. So we're gonna need some mossy moss. We're gonna need some dirt. We're gonna need some grass, some weeds, whatever it is. I mean, it kind of looks like weeds because technically, right, that this is a Minecraft grass block. Where's the grass block? Where's the grass block? So that over there, right? That, where's the super zoom? Where's my super zoom? There it is. So that's a Minecraft grass block, right? And I guess this just looks like weeds. It should just be a weed. Doesn't it? It just looks like it should just be like a Minecraft weed. All right, let's grab some rocket. Is he okay? Does he need assistance? I don't know what kind of help I could even provide. Correct. Ravager's run is just about to end, and I'm not 4th place. We may go over in place of Ravager's run, but let's grab some supplies. That is a lot of crossbows. What would one do with so many crossbows in their lives? One may never know those questions. Let's see. Are we getting trade talk?
Casbah
Yes,
Gaming
train talk.
300 missed the hype train, but today's train talk. Some of the most powerful steam engines were geared logos. Rather than driving the wheels directly with pistons, they drove a main rod which then powered the wheels with gears.
Oh.
This allowed them to drive power to every wheel set, and to change the gear ratio to sacrifice speed for power. They moved slow but could pull very heavy loads up steep and winding mountain rails.
Ooh. Oh, I love our train talk. I love train talk. That's very interesting. That's very interesting. Interesting. Train talk is the best talk. It is the best talk. All right, before I do want to bring up so wildlife. How are we feeling after our last session? So the last session we had superpowers, and my superpower was to scar smash. So that meant that I could punch people. I could smash people, and I could sit on people's faces, and it was amazing, and it was really fun. I really enjoyed it. I think Grian and his development team did a wonderful job with that, and it couldn't have been, honestly, it could have been any better. I'm gonna say it could have been any better. And to Grian and his development team, can we just give a little high five and a pat on the back for how well all of the different wild cards have been like implemented? That's not easy stuff. That's not easy stuff at all. And they've just smashed it out of the park. Just smashed it out of the park, right? They scar smashed it out of the map. Like, it's amazing. Like, I've been in awe of like how well everything has flowed. Not taking into account how well the wild cards have been in terms of fun and this and that, but it's amazing. It's amazing. It's amazing. Yeah, I like my Hulk smash. Hulk smash. The team popped off 100%. From, you know, the codes to the ideas to the artwork. Ollie coming in with the music. Mr. Whimsical always coming through with something fun and exciting. Guy versus tough guy in the finale. The Bamboozler skins are cute. They are. Absolutely love them. Wonderful. Yeah, it's amazing. By the way, I am now finally in the process of getting my merchandise set up. I'm very excited. Why am I putting W's? I just want to sleep. I'm very close. We're getting so close. Often you can't believe Jimmy is not last. Yes, Jimmy is in the finale. This is Jimmy's first finale, if I'm not mistaken. If I'm not mistaken, Jimmy has finally made it to finale, along with Lizzie. Wait, no, Lizzie did make it to the finale, I think, in... Last life? I can't remember. That's a fuzzy one. I've said this before. That's a fuzzy season for me. That's when I was dealing with some pretty heavy health stuff. So there's some fuzziness to that season. If I got asked too many questions from that season with the trivia bot, that's not going to go well. It actually did ask me a question and I didn't quite know it. So it'd be cool. It'd be cool. You know who's on top? Bamboozler's on top. That's right. Bamboozler's on top, as always. Winning, succeeding, defying expectations. I'm just grabbing resources at the moment, guys. Just on a little shopping spree, getting all my things together. Just getting all my things. Jimmy could win this. He could. Dude, I'm doing everything I can to keep that man alive. That man is going to be alive if I have to jump in front of a train. That's what it comes down to. That's what it comes down to. I'm keeping Jimmy alive. All right, I'm looking for more materials, and I'm not seeming to find the materials that I'm looking for. Where are they? We'll never know because I can't freaking find them. Can't find them. But you guys have been asking. So where has Hermitcraft been? Because it has been a little while since our last episode. Our last episode was the start of the zoo. So we flattened down the land and we got all that area kind of set up. So we got a decent amount of stuff. I think some of my other landscaping materials are over here somewhere. But as I said, this area was all set up and ready to go. So I kind of had like a vague idea of how the entrance was going to flow. So the gray blocks down below kind of represented where the pathway was going to lead into the entrance to the zoo. These were like either going to be planters or trees, or I was even thinking like statues of mobs could look really cool. So having lots of statues of mobs around there, I think would look really nice. And then of course, once we push further in, we have an abundance of land for our imagination to take wild and do what we want with this area. Yeah, I have a lot of cats, by the way. Yeah, I got a lot of cats. So that's kind of where we left off. Unfortunately, I fell into two bad frames, and one of those is a bad framing of like mind in terms of procrastination, overthinking, and then the second was just I'm in like a bad state of health, and that's kind of an unfortunate thing that's going on right now. Is like if you were to look at baseline, so if we look at like my baseline is here and exclude surgeries, sicknesses, infections, things like that, just my baseline health, so baseline, I'm probably like here. It's not super fantastic lately. So that's been a struggle. So for instance, like what I call kind of like a muscle crash. So like my body just decides to just like shut down on me. That's been pretty bad lately. Like it took like 3 days of being in bed before the last wildlife recording just to have the energy to get through that session. And then I was in bed for like another 3 days trying to get over that. Luckily in the last like day or so, I've started to feel better. And I kind of like really pushed myself to get up today and like do the stream and stuff like that. But it's frustrating. So like health wise, unfortunately, I'm just into like a really bad spiral right now of like not just getting over this. And it's super frustrating. It just feels like every time you take like one step forward, you take 5 full steps backwards. And it's demoralizing because when you have ideas, like you're excited to like work on your ideas, but then your body just has got other plans for you. And I just need to go grab some more grass. It is beyond frustrating, and working through it. Got the sunspots on the face here. But then the biggest thing I think that's holding me back right now is just overthinking. I just got in this weird spot right now, and I'm sure people can relate to this. So, I'm going to tell you some ideas on how I'm slowly working out of this. Maybe you have some ideas on how to work out of kind of.
It's been fun seeing you in Dynaball. Ever talk to Etho about the game? The craziest thing I have seen in a match is him pulling off the win in a 1v6. Can't wait to see you in the next MCC. Cheers.
I had talked to Etho about Dynaball. I want to play Dynaball with Etho. I gotta like track him down one day where like we can get like Cub Etho and we can play. I think that'd be really fun. But yeah, thank you so much for the bits. Very much appreciated. Can't wait for MCC. But yeah, that's health wise. Like I said, having a rough time. Not a new cam, just a broken cam. But yeah, so that's that. And then for overthinking, like I've just gotten to like an unhealthy state of overthinking. And I do think that this can occur, especially with like YouTubers, as you kind of like move on, you know, like as you move into like when you first start, it's just whatever comes to your mind, right? It's just whatever pops in your mind you do. And as you know, gain audiences, part of this and that, like you can start like getting into a trap of overthinking. That plays a component because you're thinking like, what would people like? Would they like this? Does this fit in with this? Do the people around me want this or that? And you can just get into this like headspace that just like spirals. And sometimes you, like me, when this has happened before, is like you got to like step back a little bit and just have like confidence in your idea, and that people will, you know, that not everybody's always going to love what you're going to do. So you just have to do the best you can. There's zero way of ever pleasing everybody, but you still get into that mindset of like, oh, I want to please this, I want to please that, oh, I got to do this and I got to do that, and you just start like spinning, right? It's just like and that's just what's been happening lately. Like I overthink everything to like the highest degree. I think some of my my artists, like for like the merchandise, have probably been victim to this, of me being like overthinking, like okay, I'm seeing okay, maybe we do, you know, just kind of like, and it's like I got to work on just being more decisive and getting it done. It's frustrating. You saw a cat. But yeah, overthinking and just spiraling on those thoughts has just been weird lately. Your content is amazing, sir. We support you. Well, I appreciate that. Just want to grab a little bit more of this grass. So like, for instance, when it comes to the zoo in particular, like I got really hung up on the name of the zoo. I got hung up on like the layout, because I started designing it actually. And this plays a huge part into like why I never get anything done, is like I started designing the entrance, and then it started giving off like a little bit of a vibe, just a little bit of a vibe of the Scarland entrance. And I'm like, oh, I'm just going to get a bunch of comments saying it's the same as the Scarland entrance. And then I like scrapped it. And I'm like, actually, then I look back later, I'm like, it didn't really look like the entrance to Scarland. And now I scrapped like what was probably like a pretty cool entrance. So you could see that kind of like that overthinking of like getting something going and then kind of like torpedoing it. And it's like, that's been the biggest frustration. So it's like a combination of just really poor health and there's like overthinking. And I often think that a lot of times those two things can like come together, right? They can like, you're not feeling well, and so like that can also play a part in just not being able to get that done. And then just general like lack of creativity has been a problem, and that also can be coupled with like not feeling well. So that's kind of where the Hermitcraft videos have been. That's why a lot of people have been asking. And then health wise, like when I do get a wildlife episode done, that's like a whole day of recording. So then I'm kind of like my energy, and then you got to edit, which could take up to 2 days. And it's just like, then we started the Impossible series. I think that was like the nail. That was the nail in my coffin that day when I finished that. I was like, I have used up every ounce of my energy. Like it is just gone. It's gone. Yes, that's a great point, is that when you're stressed, it basically kills your creativity process. I 100% believe that, because I think about it like when I was a swimmer and I was either stressed or sick, like I could usually muscle through anything, but you cannot, in my opinion, at least, and people may have different ways, everybody's brains are different and know different ways of overcoming things, but in my opinion, there is no way to muscle through creativity. It's either there or it's not. And it is a wispy wisp of smoke that floats around and gives you ideas and then wisps its way away. That's my experience with creativity, is that when it comes and it's like, let's go. We've got productive ideas. Here, we got this, we got that. It's amazing. And then, you know, other times it's a little like not 100% there. So you have to really be careful. Like, I think for creative people, right, is to make sure that you're always nurturing your mind in a way that keeps those creative like ideas and energy flowing in your brain. Like, if you're not taking care of yourself, you're not taking care of your mind, then that creative energy is just not going to be there for you. And that's my experience, especially like, you know, what I do. Like, I have to make sure that creative muscle is absolutely perfectly firing on all cylinders, because, you know, when we make videos, it's pretty quick, right? Like, it's make a video and then you start working on your next one, then that goes out and you make your next one. So you just have to constantly be like going. So taking care of yourself and making sure you're good, that you continue that output, is difficult. It is difficult. Yes, you have to landscape your mind. You do have to landscape your mind. But for artists out there, I think you can relate. Like, you can't muscle through that creativity very well. Like, it's either there or it's not. It is either there or not. But if you have ways of working through it, like, let me know how you get back on track.
I can't wait to see where your artistic genius will take us with the zoo. Whatever you do, it will be great, cause you are talented. You gotta please yourself first.
That's a good point. I appreciate that. That was a very nice message. Thank you. Yeah, thank you. I always go back to swimming. Like, when I was like a competitive swimmer and we were like swimming twice a day and going absolutely insane. There's days, you know, you had like a fever, you were sick, but you were still out there like, woo, 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 woo. But, you know, and it's like, I think about that as like trying to like paint or this or that. And it's like, you're trying to muscle through it and you're just like, nope, it's not there. It's not there. All right, I think we've got enough. Let's start. Do we have enough resources to start? No, we need some stone. But there are ways of getting over it. So I think there are many different ways of getting over like that creative feeling. One of the big ones that I've always had is finding a time to just let your brain just settle down. So like letting your mind settle down and not like be forcing something. So then you go and say, maybe play a video game. Play like a video game that's very stimulating. I wouldn't say like playing like Call of Duty or an FPS style game would really do it. I know it would do it really for me. But playing something that takes you into another world. So if like you were to play, for instance, a Skyrim, a Fallout, a Witcher, you know, just something that brings you into another world. And as you're walking through this world, you can see like cool builds or cool landscapes or ideas. And then that like slowly starts to like fill that library of ideas in your brain. Even if you're not going to build that mountain or you're going to build that building, it's just seeing things that like creatively stimulate your mind. That helps for me a lot. Certain like TV shows, for instance, Arcane. Sadly, I'm only 2 episodes in because I've been so sick. I watched the first episode, loved it. Watched the second episode, loved it. But I'm only 2 episodes in. But the architecture, the design, the creativity behind the character design, the animation design, like I have no idea what the story is, by the way. I'm so confused. I'm there for the great animation and the great art. I have no idea what's going on. But a show like that, you might see this build or you might see a character or something like that that really helps like creativity. It's the same with, say, like in Star Wars in a lot of cases. Star Wars always gives me a little bit of like creative motivation. And I think it's important, like
Dragon with Orphan 75 cheered Dex 500. I work at Disney World, so these bits are provided by the mouse himself. Love your content, less than 3.
Dragon, thank you so much for the bits. Very much appreciated. Very much appreciated. Yeah, like just Godspeed over the holidays, my friend. But yeah, it's I do think as somebody, like if you're in a creative field or you just enjoy creativity, is I realized this a while back, is like you should probably document the things that do help you. So if you're creatively burnt and you're like, I need to get going again, I want to start creating again, but my brain is just shot, having a list of things that will help you is good idea. So like you could mark down, say like playing a game, watching a creatively stimulating TV show or a movie or something like that, going out on like long like walks that help you get, like if you're say you're out on like a walk, right? You're kind of doing repetitive motions. It kind of sends your mind into like a flow state, kind of helps that overthinking shut down a little bit in your brain. Those things do help quite a bit. And I think writing it down is something I realized recently, is like, hey, I should write this stuff down, so when this does hit, I can just see a nice little checklist and be like, okay, I can try this, or I can try that, or something along those lines to help get going again. Because making stuff's a lot of fun. Get out of here. You too. I will not die. You will not die. I'm a bad penny. So my dad calls me. Anyway. But yeah, it's I know times where I remember I was a little bit creatively burnt a little bit in 2015. I remember watching Force Awakens and I got back into Star Wars watching that, and I remember it like gave me so much inspiration to like start like designing stuff again. Not that I even made anything that was Star Wars or sci-fi or fantasy in the space themed at all. It was just got my energy going in my brain. My brain started firing again, which is good. But yeah, it's the overthinking that is such a pain. Absolutely despise it. Absolutely despise it. That's the one thing I have trouble with, is the overthinking. I'm actually better with procrastination than I used to be. One thing that helped me with procrastination was a simple tip that I heard once, and it was, when you are procrastinating about starting something, so you're looking at a project, something that you want to do, and you're procrastinating by thinking of all of the negatives associated with starting it. So you're thinking about, oh, I'm gonna have to get this, and oh, I'm gonna have to get that, I'm gonna have to coordinate with this person, oh, I'm gonna have to do this and that. Let your mind stop, let your mind rest, deep breaths. Think about replacing all of that negative energy with what it would feel like to actually accomplish what you want. So instead of thinking about how hard it's going to be to do this or that, you want to think about how incredible it's going to be to accomplish what you want. So think about, oh, once I get that done, these people are going to love it, or this person's going to be so happy that I completed this project. The weight of having this project off my back is going to be fantastic, and I'm going to have this great result. So you want to try to like cut out some of that negative and bring in a little bit more of the positive to uplift you to get over your hurdle that you had when it came to your procrastination. That advice very much helped me, because instead of focusing always on, say, like, I'm so tired, this hurts so much, like, just think, man, this is gonna be fantastic when this is done. Come on now. Like, think about this. If you just got it started now, this is going to be pretty cool in the future. Instead of, oh man, I'm going to have to get on the phone. I'm going to have to talk to somebody. Oh my God, I don't want to talk to people. But when you have it done, oh, KDB. Hello, KDB. So that's advice to me. That's advice for me to you. So you could potentially employ that, is to try to push away some of those more like negative emotions holding you back, and bring in some more of the positive aspects of what's going to happen when you finish the project. To me, that helps. Everybody's brains are a little different. You know, your mileage may vary, but I'd give it a try. Why not? It's kind of a easy thing to try to do, is just to try to put in a little bit more of the positive thought into it.
Melamoogle cheered X300. I went out for a short walk, not used to my cane yet, and saw so many flowers, nice autumn leaves, and even people enjoying playing with their dogs in the park. I don't know, sometimes the simplest things can light a spark for a creative fire.
Exactly. I'm glad you're able to get out, and that hopefully that made you feel better. And that's one thing I think it's super important, is to always make sure you do like get out. And it depends if you live in like a rural area, you live in a city, just somewhere for you to like get out of like a building, out from screens, lights, this and that. Just get out in nature. I think our bodies just absolutely crave and or need that. And we kind of in modern day starve our bodies of being out in nature. It has its own healing properties in itself.
This is one of the streams I've managed to catch for a while. Been stressed and busy in college as of recent, as I have to make a game trailer and am currently struggling with procrastination. I'm hoping to improve on it. Glad to hear the tips less than 3.
Dude, that sounds cool. Like, man, I want to see the game trailer you make. I bet it's going to be amazing. Yeah, it's just think in your head. This is how I would do it. Is like I would run through all the like negatives, but then also run through all the positives of getting this complete and showing it to your class, your professor, whatever, and be like, dude, when's this done? Look how cool this is gonna be. People are gonna love the trailer. It's gonna be amazing. People are gonna love it. But yeah, that advice to me helped a lot. And yeah, just try to focus on what it would be like to complete the task and how much you're going to enjoy it, or other people will enjoy what you created. And at the end of the day, also just not having the stress of having to worry about starting and or working on something. Just think about, dang, it's going to be great. When it's done, it's going to be amazing. And then always enjoy the road, enjoy the time, enjoy what you're doing while you're doing it. So it's very important to enjoy like the process too. But yeah, it's now I think I understand this more as an adult than I did when I was a kid. Was like when I was younger, I was always so confused by like mindless TV. Like, you know what I mean? Like there's shows that people just like turn on, they're like, there's those shows, right? But those shows actually do serve a purpose in some ways. It's like people who've had a really, really trying and difficult day sometimes just want to like sit and watch something that keeps their brain going at least 10%. And they can just kind of like, because in that moment, it's really like they're really resting more than they're actually taking in something. They're not watching The Penguin or something like that has all these interesting plot points and stuff. They're just watching something that's resting them. It's something I like. I didn't really understand when I was a kid. Like, didn't make any sense. These like terrible TV shows that people are just like. But really, like, a lot of people get back from work or school or something that's difficult, and this is like a way of like consciously resting.
I stuck the stream on the TV and won't stop waving at you on the TV. We hope you start feeling better soon, Scar, and happy holidays.
Oh, thank you very much. I appreciate that. That's very nice of you. But yeah, when I was a kid, I did not get that. I was like, this show is so dumb. Or something like that. Or like for me, when I first realized I did this was when I would get back from really stressful doctor's appointments, and I would just walk right into my room, and I would sit at my computer, and I would do this. Where is it? So instead of watching a dumb TV show, I would literally do this. And my mom called it chopping. Oh, you doing your chopping? You doing your chopping? Are you doing your chopping? So that's something like, because I just needed that like minute of doing literally nothing with a small distraction. Oh, it's a kitty wild bee. Kitty bee. Oh. Why is she putting her paws like this? I don't know what's happening. Oh, are you scared? Don't be scared. The cats get so scared when I stream. My mom says it's because my voice is a little bit louder. So it's like a little bit louder. They're not used to it. It's like, why is his voice louder now? Or like the lights that are on. Look at that, Katie B. Look, Katie B. Look at the camera. Say hi to everybody. What's wrong? Are you okay? Here, I'll hold your feet. I'll hold your feet, Cease. Look, I'm holding your feet. There, that's okay. Now you're not scared. Yeah, see, that's the chat over there. They're saying hi to you, Katie B. Look, see the chat? They're very excited to see you. The feetsies had to be supported. Aww. Did you want to go nap? Oh, yep, there she goes. She's off.
Orias Valium tipped $3. Slightly off topic, but a show that makes me feel creative is What We Do in the Shadows, which had some new cameos from The Office recently.
What We Do in the Shadows? I don't know what that is. Is this a show you guys have told me to watch that I forgot? I don't know if I've seen that. And you said it had cameos from people from The Office? Dude, I watched the entire Office recently. And 3 of those seasons were me building these trees. It took 3 Office seasons to get through to finish all these trees. Shadows is great. It's a vampire comedy. Oh, that's interesting. Yeah, I've never heard of that. Let's see here. There we go. That like that. Sweet. Another game that helped, especially when like super duper stressed, especially when I was first getting sick and just trying to figure out like what was going on.
Cheered Dex 300. I find a lot of my art or Minecraft inspiration comes from series I enjoy, like the Life series or Hermitcraft. You yourself are a huge inspiration to me and a certified Minecraft Imagineer.
Oh, thank you. That's very nice of you. I very much appreciate that. Thank you. Very, very nice of you to say. The one thing I was thinking of was driving a car and or riding a horse in Grand Theft Auto or Red Dead Redemption, just for no particular reason, just to explore and drive and or ride. Back in the day, it was like my absolute getaway from like being super stressed out about something. You just got on that horse and you just rode along. Maybe there's somebody, you put some lead in as you went by. No, you just rode along. And then in Grand Theft Auto, it was like straight up just driving the car up the coastal highway. One of my favorite places in California, and just driving up, enjoying it, loving it. There's so much there's just so much fun in it to just relax. Like, you know, that game, you know, there's a lot, the hooting and hollering and all that stuff, but there's also just this like really serene, relaxing aspect to those games that I super enjoy. Red Dead Redemption, also super inspiring in terms of like its scenery, its design in terms of like buildings and landscapes and stuff like that. That is such a great place to just kind of zone out into a very like beautiful environment. That's a great one. That's a great one. Zelda, I've seen this a few times for people who enjoy playing games to kind of like relax, is Zelda. I still haven't played it. Graydon recommended me Breath of the Trees, and I still have not played it. I will play it. I promise you I will. And then I think there's something Tears, Story of Tears or whatever the next one is. I haven't even got to that one yet. But I need to. When he recommended it to me, like I got that and The Witcher, and The Witcher is like my all-time favorite game, and I never got to Breath of the Wild because Witcher was such a like long crazy game.
Chirp Trip Cheered X300. Your ID also works in real life for me as well. I remember discovering random towns as I drove and thought about different ideas for stories and scenes I'm working on.
Oh, this reminds me. You just reminded me. First of all, thank you for the bits. Reminded me when I was first painting. So when I was first painting, getting into like landscape impressionist painting, I was really struggling with color. Like I was really struggling with color, and embarrassing, but like I wanted to create realistic paintings. So that was kind of what I wanted to create, right? So when I was painting, I was so far off of realistic. I was literally just taking like the green tube and just like, and then just painting a green tree that was basically fluorescent. And you know, if what you're going for is realistic, fluorescent trees, especially in the Northwest, you know, like pine trees, not good at all. Not great, not ideal. And I remember when my mom told me, it was like, hey, we're making this long drive from Washington to California. Just look at the trees. Like when you're driving, don't think about anything. Don't just look at the trees, and don't get caught up in like, oh, this looks like this or that looks like that. Just look at the trees and see what you see. I was like, all right. And I remember looking at them and just like realizing like, oh, these aren't fluorescent at all. There's some muddy brown. There's some red in there. There's so many other colors than just the tube. So when I got home, right, I took, you know, some of the colors that I saw in the tree design, like for instance, like a pine tree. They're really like very bluish, right? So I took out some blues and I put a little bit of like black in it and kind of like muted it down. And I was like, that's pine leaves now and not fluorescent pine leaves. This is it, right? Like, and I started understanding a little bit more of color. Like everything I know about like creativity has either come from like my mom or my grandpa or my aunt. That's where it's all like come from. And it was just interesting, like looking at that and seeing like, oh, there's so much more to this. Like this bluish color makes these pine leaves. And then, oh, I need to put a lot more like yellow in these highlights across here. Because once I add this highlight to it, now we're cooking.
300. Hello, Scar.
Hello there.
These are my first bits. Could you say hello to me and my two friends Blue and Purple? We love your content very much. Please take care of yourself and your little furry ones too.
I hope we can find Vinny again at some point. Thank you so much for the bits. Very much appreciated. Hello, Blue. Hello, Purple. Just Melly, thank you so much for the bits. Very much appreciate it. Another aspect of mountains. I really struggled with mountains when I was first painting. And this is such an interesting thing. This goes back to either a Pixar book that I read, or it was the Pixar story, the documentary. I can't remember what it was, but there was a scene in one of these, and this goes back 10 years, so my memory might be fuzzy on the details, but John Lasseter told all the animators to go outside and look at the mountains. And the reason they did that was that the mountains weren't looking like mountains. And they looked at the mountains, and it hit them when they saw the mountains that, hold on a second, the mountains are literally purple through atmospheric haze. And it's wild to think that, but a lot of times mountains actually give off a very purple vibe. And that's like through atmospheric distortion, you know, stuff along those lines. So like when you go outside and you want to like creatively recharge, you want to like be creatively stimulated, these are all the like interesting things to look at, is to look in the distance and really analyze like, what the heck is that color actually? Because your instinctive mind might say that tree, that mountain or whatever is this color, but in reality, when you actually look at the fine like color detail of it, it's like completely different. I remember when I looked at mountains after that, I was like, wow, mountains do have much different colors than just saying mountain gray, mountain white, mountain brown. No, there's a lot of other colors milling around in that through like different like atmospheric conditions and stuff like that. Like mountains actually are really purple when you look at it. It's wild to think, but go look at the mountains. Like when you look at it, it's pretty purple. I remember seeing that documentary. I'm like, whoa, that's so true. That's so true. There's so many like little colors in it that you just never expect, because your mind often like starts with like the most simple thing is like gray, black, white, maybe a little brown. But no, it's a wonderful world of color out there. It's wild. It's wild. But yeah, that's when I started seeing like color differently. It was that documentary of my mom. Like, you just gotta look at the trees. Like, she didn't tell me anything else. It was just like, I think she just wanted me to figure it out for myself, which actually, like, I think is a very valuable thing to kind of have that epiphany yourself. And it was just like, just look at the trees. Just look at the trees. And I remember getting back and like, you know, I wasn't the greatest painter by any means, by any stretch of the imagination, but at least my trees weren't radioactive green anymore. So there we are. There we are. They're not radioactive green. I'm starting to get some ideas, guys. I kind of want to make a river now. I'm feeling like I should make a little like valley through here, right? I just feel like it needs to happen. I feel like it needs. Mythical. It's the mythical dolphin. Hello, mythical dolphin. Who remembers the mythical dolphin from Joe's stream? I now have a mythical dolphin who lives in my river. Fresh Animations mod, like, unfortunately in the recent update, it sends the player or the mob's head through the actual mob head through the fake mob head, if that makes sense. But yeah, oh, mythical dolphin, don't kill me. Don't kill me. I'm not polluting the river. I promise. I promise. I promise. I'm not polluting the river, mythical dolphin. Mythical dolphin apparently can walk on water or walk on land, guys. There goes mythical dolphin. Oh, that's funny.
Terriglow's cheered X300, Scar. One
Hello?
piece of the overthinking problem is that creativity is tied to our perspectives on life. If we're always thinking, but not experiencing, our creative fuel runs out. And if we overthink about what others want to see, we lose focus on our unique perspective. Then what we create will lack authenticity. And by the way, your GTA videos are some of my fav to rewatch because you were just being yourself.
Don't watch those videos. I couldn't even imagine what those videos are like. Oh my god. I just turned on the camera and just whatever happened. What happened in Scar's GTA videos stay in Scar's GTA videos. I used to get so much pushback for those videos. Like, Scar, this is a mature game. And I'm like, I'm just driving cars. I'm just out here driving cars, getting in just a little bit of trouble. Not bad trouble, just a little bit of trouble. A little bit of trouble. Nothing wrong with a little bit of trouble, am I right? Anyway, Tara, thank you for the bits, and you are 100% correct. That is another very important. Mythical Dolphin, you're making this really hard. You're making this really hard, Mythical Dolphin. Is that if you are in the same experience. So what I mean by that is that you're not experiencing things, your well of creativity will evaporate rapidly. I've mentioned this artist many times, Fengzu, B-Dubs and I's like idol. We just love the way he goes about talking about art. Well, he's an educator. Like he has his own school. He literally, that's his job. But that is so important to keep your visual library well stocked. And so that means like going out in life and experiencing things. And when you do run low on that well of creativity, a lot of times it's that you're not experiencing a lot of new things to help keep that well of knowledge, that well of ideas. Because when you go somewhere, say you went to somewhere where it had a really sweet castle and you started looking at the castle and you started like figuring out like, oh, this is kind of how the arches go and stuff like that. That's all stuff that gets slowly like fed into your library. You go to a national park and you see really cool rock formations. it gets stored in your brain. You go to a big city and you see how all the lights trail off into the distance, or all the freeways have the red lights and the white lights and how they snake through like veins through the city. All of those things just like go into your brain, that eventually when you need to think of an idea, you start pulling these things and then making them your own. So it's really important to experience things in life. And for me, in the last 4 years, that has been about like that much. And I know that it's played a huge role in my creativity being less than I would want it to be, just because since 2019, I have not been out and about and done a lot of stuff that I would have loved to have done for a variety of reasons. And that well is actually pretty low, I would say, creative wise for me. So
Pixel Prop tipped $3. High Scar, why don't you go play Frogger to steal the high score this month? It's
I will.
set tomorrow.
Oh, tomorrow, really? It's tomorrow? Oh no, don't tell me tomorrow is December. Oh my god, it is. I didn't even realize it was. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. But yeah, that is something I find incredibly important, is to experience many, many new things. And it doesn't even always have to be you're doing this to experience or be creative. It's just to experience and to let conscious and unconscious designs and ideas fill that library. Because that's also important. You don't want everything you're trying to do something, if that makes sense. You want some things to be like you're actively like looking at Joel's base for inspiration. Wow, that's so cool. Look at all the colors and the buildings and how they all flow together so wonderfully. But also, you just want to passively pick up stuff by experiencing things. You know, I'm flying through this cave, but maybe in the back of my mind, I'm, you know, getting ideas for a cave, or ideas that start, you know, populating those bookshelves in that visual library. And often you can find people who have a limited library is people who this is how Fang explained it, was if you tell somebody to draw a castle, they might draw a very, very stereotypical castle. Just, you know, maybe a little arch, maybe 2 pointy towers. But somebody who has a very vast visual library that they can pull through when they're in the process of creating, they might pull from 1,000 different things to make something very distinctly original and new, because they have so much experience and inspiration.
I wish you a very nice day. Is there anything you could tell us, please, about the Iskol and stress situation?
One, I would prefer that we keep anything like that out of voice chat. Second, I will refer you to the official Hermitcraft statement. That is all I'm going to say on the topic. And I'd appreciate respect for myself, the community, and the chat, that we keep any drama out. So, well, I'm going to leave it at that. So yeah, that is creativity, and things like that are also things that feel creativity. But I don't mean to be rude to the person who said that. I mean, they probably just want to know more. So I don't have any like ill thoughts towards them. I just would prefer that stays out. I prefer to keep drama and things along those lines away from my content. I've always done that, and I'll always do that. Scar, did you finish Arcane? I have not, unfortunately. I am excited to get back to it. I've been doing a lot of my Christmas shopping at night, so that's cutting into my I have like a little chunk. I got a little chunk of time where I watch my shows.
First off, wanna say it's nice to have you back. Watching you always makes things feel better. Anyway, got any tips for building custom rivers in Minecraft? I'm working on one going down a hill and I'm stuck on making it look good.
So you said it's a, I got confused by the Enderman slaying over there. Azuma, I'd like to see more things on the board, please. I want to see more scoreboarding. Azuma, give us the flight. Oh, you can't hear me. What am I saying? Why am I just shouting into the distance and hoping Azuma can hear me? I'd love to see flight. That would be a really cool one. I randomly fly all the time for no reason. Let's see, I've been watching your videos. Anyway, tips for building custom rivers in Minecraft. I'm working on one that goes down a hill. Oh, how fantastic. Who's this? Oh, it's a wild false symmetry. So if you're not making a waterfall going down a hill, what you could do with that is make a stair step. So how I would see it is so if you have a starting point here and you're trying to get here.
23 JDX 1000.
Oh, well, thank you for the bits. Very much appreciated. I'm a dodging. I'm a weaving. So what you could do is just make like a small stair step river. So like where I live, there's a lot of rivers like that kind of have like rocks. So what I'm saying is like you start here, it kind of like works down. So you're building up a little bit of white water. And then there's lots of like boulders you can like put in there. So just kind of like feed it down slowly, like stair stepping, and then insert lots of rocks to break it up. So if the flow is going down, I'm just making sure my hands probably don't make any sense to you guys. But as the flow is going down, interrupt it with rocks. So it's kind of crashing and it's kind of rooting around that rock and it's crashing into another one and going around. Good example is Sir B-Dubs of the Forest. He did a really great job at this. And I love how you're saying that you have a river you're trying to make and you're not making it into a, like a...
Mazoodle cheered X500. Totally true Scar fact.
My brain.
Scar's plans for May 2025 are going to see the live action Stitch with a giant glass of milk to sip.
That is not true. And no, nobody believed that. Jeez. It was bad enough. It was bad enough you brought up the live action Stitch, but you had to add milk to it. My two arch enemies, Milk, Stitch, and Snakes. I threw Snakes in there because snakes are the worst. Anyway, this is a great example of what we're talking about in a way, is that I'm glad this is here, this is kind of not so much a waterfall, but it's kind of a gradual, it's kind of like gradually heading downwards. And it's got a little bit of white water turbulent in it, things along those lines. Now, obviously this is not like water in Minecraft, but you could definitely do this with water in Minecraft. And I think this looks really cool and gives you an idea of what that looks like. I wish I had a photo of a river where I live that I could give you inspiration with that, but unfortunately that is on the wall. And if I reached for it, I probably would break it. I'd pull my back and creak my neck and it would be all over for the day. Milk is yeah, a lot. I got really turned off by milk when somebody tried to like force me to drink hot milk. Couldn't do it. Wouldn't do it. Can't do it. It's milk sog to me. Correct. Yep. Yep. It's worst. I could probably tolerate milk if it is extremely cold, like borderline frozen.
Thank you for talking about creativity and recovery today, sir. Creative burnout is something I'm working through myself, and your advice and perspectives are helping a lot. Your work is genuinely breathtaking. Thank you for sharing your art with us.
Oh, I appreciate that. Thank you for the nice message. That's very generous of you. Most Bob, thank you so much for the 10 gifted subscriptions to the chat. That is very generous and very much appreciated. Yeah, I do think it's important to, yeah, hey, you stop that. You stop that. You stop that, mister. You stop that. These are, don't kill those guys, please. You know how hard it was to...
X500. For my 111-month sub anniversary, I would like 11 compliments towards Stitch, Milk, and Snakes, please. Thanks.
$11 compliments to Milk. Now, is this combined Stitch and Milk? Is this a combined complimenting of 11? Because I feel like I'm for 111 months. I feel like I'm obligated to do the compliments. So it's combined. Okay. Chocolate milk is pretty good. We can all admit chocolate milk, pretty good. Pretty good. When I was a kid, second compliment, putting an Oreo in milk, pretty good. Pretty good. Okay, we're 2. Milk makes cake. We love cake, right? That's a compliment. Milk makes cake. Oh boy. Okay. Oh boy. Okay. Just try to think of many things to. I'll just do milk makes baking products. Oh boy, I just don't want to get to the Stitch component of this. Try to think of some more milk compliments. There was some funny commercials back in the day about milk and these funny cows. My grandpa loved them. Oh boy. Milk makes cheese. Milk makes cheese. That's a oh boy. No, don't do that to me. Oh man. I try to compliment milk and I'm dying of vexes. This is not going well. Okay, all right. I don't know how many I'm up to yet. Oh boy, Stitch. Oh god. Oh, I don't want to compliment Stitch. I just don't want to compliment Stitch.
Valentine Hart tipped $3. Hello Scar. I didn't have a lot of art teacher in my life, but the one thing they said that sticked with me is that art is 80% of to see you back on stream. Love from France, D.
Oh, I thank you. That's very nice of you to say. I'm trying not to die. Man, I can't think of a single thing to compliment Stitch on. Stitch brings people, for whatever reason, a lot of happiness. This is so painful. No, I don't need. I can't die again. I can't die again. This is the hardest thing I've ever done on stream, I think. Deep breath, Scar. Deep breaths. You got this. You got this. You leave me alone, mister. No, I don't even see it. I think it's invisible. Martin, has you made these invisible?
Weird Space O cheered X300. Stitch is blue. Blue is nice.
Blue is a nice color. That's correct. Blue. Stitch is blue. That's a very nice thing to say about Stitch. Stitch also takes place in Hawaii. Hawaii looks like it's a very nice place with lots of tropical-y trees, and the culture there is beautiful. So that's a compliment. There we go. That's a compliment. That's two. Three actually. That's three compliments to Stitch. Oh, my stuff. Gosh, man, I don't know how many more we have. Oh boy. I'm up to 8. Oh, jeez. This is so many. Stitch was a hand-drawn animated film. That's 2.
I'm glad your health is improving. We missed you a lot. D less than 3.
I feel like that should be 2. Thank you for the bits. That's very generous. You very much appreciated. I feel like complimenting that as a hand-drawn film. I do have a story about Stitch, by the way. That's not me making fun of Stitch. What else? Oh, did I get everything? Is this it? Is this all my stuff? I feel like that's it. I don't need that. I don't need that. I don't want that. Whoa, why are you so aggressive, buddy? I'm so sorry I killed your llama friends. No, it's okay. You don't have to shake your head. Don't give me those angry eyes. Oh, yeah, he's giving me the cold shoulder, guys. I get it, man. I had to do it. Your llama friends were gonna kill my guardians, and those guardians are paid or spoken for. A hermit wants them.
Barbie cheered X300. Scar, who's the best Disney villain, and why did you choose Ursula?
Why did I choose Ursula? Ursula is a great villain. Ursula is a great villain. The greatest villain is probably Maleficent, with a close second of Cruella de Vil. Cruella de Vil is horrifying. Like, just the way they designed that character is phenomenal. Well, I mean, it was designed by Mark Davis, so like, what do you expect? What do you expect? The greatest character, whatever animator ever was. Anyway, okay. How many more compliments do we need? Can I get a tally on the compliments? How many more?
Jaren Dream cheered X300. Oh Scar, The stress from the milk and stress
One
talk
more.
is real. I am proud of you to power through.
One more.
He is a Milk and Stitch fan. Watch out for him.
Okay, let's see. What do I got here? All right. I feel like I complimented Milk a lot. I feel like I need to compliment Stitch on one more thing. Hawaii's cool. Hand-drawn film. Stitch brings people a lot of joy.
As most know, I'm a mischief maker on the server. I have 100 gift subs for you if you will do a small prank of swapping Doc's giant trim shovel from diamond to gold and leave the diamond in his dirt shop.
Wait, what? Wait, what was that? Let's see. Small prank by swapping Doc's giant trim shovel from diamond to gold.
That followed up his movie appearance was better than what Obi-Wan got, so that could be one.
You know what? I might do that just for the chat. I just don't want to be construed with the ore snatcher. I can't take that stress. I can't be on Doc's wrath.
To help you out with compliments to Stitch, he comes from a movie that has an amazing sister relationship in it. Very realistic.
Oh, that's nice. Stitch brings the family together. Final compliment. We're done. Ah, I feel so much better. I feel so much better. Oh, we did it, guys. All the compliments have been paid. Whew. Did it. We did it. I will never compliment a snake. Ever. Ever. Yeah, no snakes. No snakes. Ah, I feel good. I did it, guys. That was a challenge. That was a challenge. Okay. Where were we? I got like exhausted from that. That took a lot of effort. Mythical Dolphin does what mythical dolphins want to do. Mythical Dolphin, will you allow me to do some work over here?
One vein cheered Dex 300. Hey Scar, big hello from Bell.
Well, hello there.
I've never watched Star Wars before, but your interest in it has me wanting to watch it. Where do you think is the best place to start watching?
Oh.
And what's your favorite movie or series?
Great question. So I always recommend people to start with the original three. And so I would start with New Hope. So confusingly, New Hope is episode 4.
X300. You will be rewarded greatly for your bravery, but you should be afraid of my 150-month anniversary.
Oh, thank you, Maz. Thank you very much. Still just sweating over all those compliments. Let's see. Sorry, I got distracted. So where to start with Star Wars? So as I said, New Hope,
13 tipped
episode 4.
Scar, so galled to see you back. Your content helps to motivate me in my journey as a student paramedic. Watching yours and the other Hermit's content helps me so much with my mental health and avoiding opinions on Once Upon a Time show.
Once Upon a Time show. Oh, is that Once Upon a Time? That was the show on ABC with the that was the show, right? It was on ABC. I think. I'm pretty sure. I liked that show. That show was pretty good. It kind of got a little like jump the sharky at the end there, but I enjoyed it. Let's see, Air85. Thank you so much for the 10 gifted subscriptions. Very much appreciated. Very, very much. I mean, it was kind of like, you know, it's not the Penguin or something like that, but it was good. I liked it. So for Star Wars, as I said, New Hope is a great place to start. Oh, by the way, congratulations and on your schooling for being a paramedic. That is awesome, my friend. Very, very cool.
Because you would be leaving the diamond in his shop. Also,
true.
I fund him to troll Joel, so it's only fair.
It's only fair. I just want to make sure everybody knows that if I do that, I'm not the ore snatcher. I can't take that fire. I can't take that heat. I can't take that heat right now. Remind me. I do want to get some progress done here, so we will get to that. Remind me in chat. We gotta do that. We do need to. I just want to get this little section done real quick. For Star Wars, what's my favorite series? Mandalorian season 1's my favorite. for like a series of Star Wars. My favorite standalone movie is always ever changing. I used to love Return of the Jedi, still do, but then I became more of a Return of the Jedi fan, and also a Rogue One. I love Rogue One. I think it's fantastic.
Rowan with Wolves tipped $5. I study animal care, and at the animal unit at my college we have a corn snake called Cheeto, and he's absolutely the color of a Cheeto.
I salute you, brave soldier, for taking care of Cheeto. Just watch your back. Never turn your back on Cheeto. Never turn your back. You never know. You never know.
Julicinator 3000 tipped $3, so I'm guessing you're not a fan of the fact that when they extract venom from snakes it is called snake milking?
Oh my god, no, that's not true. No, no, no. Nope, can't do it. Oh my gosh. Unbelievable. Yes, KDB, I know. I didn't. That's horrific. That's horrific. I'm back. That was rough. That was rough. That was rough. Oh my god. Oh, I'm gonna take some time. It's gonna take me a little time here to recover from that one. Whew. How we all doing today, guys? That was horrific. That was horrific. Ooh, all right. Star Wars, am I right? Okay, Star Wars, my friends. We do have a new Star Wars coming out, by the way. We do have a new Star Wars. It's on the horizon here. It's on... They moved it. It was on the 3rd. Like, all the posters and everything say the 3rd. It's actually going to be the 2nd. They changed it for whatever reason. Man, mythical Dolphin, come on, man. You gotta leave me alone here. Let's go this way. Let's go this way. I gotta work on this mythical Dolphin. Come on, mythical Dolphin. Yes, Star Wars / Goonies is what we're in store for here. I really hope it's good.
Rowan with Wolves tipped
I need
$3.
it to be good.
He actually did try to attack my friend. Cheeto does not like peace. He's not used to being handled, so you do have to be really careful with him.
Yeah, you can't turn your back on a snake. Good old Cheeto. Good old Cheeto. Even though he's a snake, I'm giving him the good old moniker. Good old Cheeto. Let's see, Princess, thank you so much for the 15 gifted subscriptions. Very generous, very much appreciated.
Indiana Jones movie, or is that just a snake on your shelf?
Are you in the Indiana Jones movie, or is that just a snake on your
Lulu
shelf?
Pistols tipped $3.
I don't have a snake on my shelf.
Black king snake, and her name is Lilith, and at night she's constantly trying to escape by slithering up the sides.
Ooh.
But she always falls down into her water bowl and makes a mess of the glass. It's really funny. I think she's swell.
Hey, I'm happy you like your pet.
3113 being cheered. Dex 300. Is that Skeleton Crew coming on the 2nd? Another early birthday present.
I did see that it was moved up. I don't know where the snake is in my room, and I'm worried. There's nothing in here that looks like a snake, right? Terrified. As I said, I absolutely need the Star Wars to be good. I need a good show.
Previous gross snake message. Better topic is that my dad is setting up his Star Wars Christmas tree today, which has a Death Star topper and over 100 Star Wars ornaments.
Really? That's amazing. That's so cool. Man, I need to landscape, guys. And the mythical dolphin is over here. Mobs coming out of the trees. Snakes everywhere. I don't know what to do.
Good times with Scar tipped $3. I see you.
I have an idea. I got an idea. I used my brain. Guys. I got an idea. Okay.
I'm head of IT for a company that literally breeds snakes, among other reptiles.
Just implant a virus and end it all. Just end it all. Just end it all. Just put a virus in the computer and end the whole thing. Just end it. I'm looking for something. I don't know what it is.
$3. Have you ever played the Star Wars tabletop RPG? If so, what character did you play?
I haven't.
What character would you create?
I don't know. That sounds fun. Like the other day when Tango was talking about Dungeons and Dungeons, I was making fun of it, but in all reality, I probably would really like it. I was just teasing Tango because I enjoy teasing Tango because my favorite thing is Tango frustration sounds. But so what character would I make in Star Wars? That's a good question. I want to think about that, guys. By the way, I have like an enormous brain, and watch this. Ah, there you go. See, I still have a big brain, guys. Don't worry. I have a big brain. It's a giant brain. I just needed to be out of the boat. Just needed to be out of the boat. Look at this. Look at this. Look at this. Look at this. Boop. And I can't swim away. There we go. Whew. There we go. Now I don't have to deal with mythical dolphin, and I can get to work. Look at that. It's a big brain right there. It's a powerful brain. It's a good brain. Might not say it's a good brain. Yeah, that's debatable, but that's debatable. That's debatable. But, you know, it does its best. It does its best. That's all I like to say. I like to say my brain puts in an effort. That's all you can really ask for it. That's all you can really ask. But yeah, Skeleton Crew coming out. I hope it's good. I always hope every Star Wars show is good. And then they gave us Kenobi. Then they gave us Kenobi. I always think that like Ian McGregor's always out there like trying to get a season 2. I always hope that he knows, like we got to do better for the fans.
We have a ball python at the college, and he's much nicer. We have other animals like bunnies, hamsters, alpacas, goldfish, and horses, etc.
Got alpacas? That's cool. I like an alpaca. I like a llama and a good alpaca.
$3. Some snakes can sense heartbeats. This ability, called infrared sensitivity, helps them locate prey and even know when it's still alive. Pit vipers, boas, and pythons use specialized heat-sensing pits to detect the faint warmth of a heartbeat.
It's not helping. It's not helping. It's not helping your guys' cause. I'll tell you right now. That's not helping the snake cause right now. Whew! They're seeing us through infrared. They're walking around with night vision goggles on their head. What have we come to? All right. Skeleton Crew, am I right? Am I right? It's gonna be great. Let's Star Wars is at the point where I feel like it's just like random directors are like, I want to make something in Star Wars.
Are you going to put a roller coaster in the zoo? People call my house a zoo cause I have 4 guinea pigs and a dog.
That's not, no, that's just a, that's not a, that's not, I think Skiz has got a zoo. I think you're good. I think you're good. I think you're good. I don't think you have the zoo. You just have a nice animal home. Skiz very much might be on the zoo territory.
Still bite and inject venom after death. Their reflexes can trigger a bite response hours after they're dead, as their nervous system remains active for some time. Handling a recently killed venomous snake is extremely risky.
They're still deadly dead. We can't even kill them.
Lulu Pistols tipped $3. If you ever watch anime, you should watch Delicious in Dungeon on Netflix. It's a super cool fantasy show where they cook and eat monsters.
Yeah,
The
probably
world building
snakes.
is so good. It seems like something you would enjoy, Mr. Scar.
Can't even kill them, and they're. What is it going to come down to when the war starts against humans versus snakes?
13 cheered Dex 500. Fun fact: Lilo and Stick used old school watercolor backgrounds. It was the last one to do that.
I know. If I give any props to Stitch, it's that. So sad. It's not that I don't like the 3D stuff. It's just
to combat the snake talk. I wish to hear a Disney rant. Anything new on that front?
boom. Let's go. Okay, boom. Compliment. Surprised. I know. Like Scar, you're gonna compliment Disney? What in the world? What's happened to you?
They are not a snake and they are adorable.
The cat tip. I'm gonna give a compliment. And this is big, guys. This is big.
Casbah Gaming cheered X300. Now I'm picturing Scar out in the desert shouting Kenobi to the sky in anger like Darth Maul. Also, offer is open if you ever want a tabletop RPG game run. I develop one professionally and I would love to see you play one. I think you'd be really good at it.
Kaz, could we make a tabletop game based on something like a storyline on Hermitcraft or something? How cool would that be?
$3. Some snakes can survive for months without food, and during this time, their metabolism slows dramatically. They can even digest parts of their own heart to stay alive, allowing them to wait patiently for the perfect moment to ambush prey.
They don't even need to eat?
Myri Iger tipped $3. Hi Scar.
How do we
I
kill
hope you're
them?
Good. Love the new video. I'm starting my first work on Monday and I wanted to thank you for your content these past months. Been a great help for me.
We need to get the anti-snake people together, because I don't know if you guys are seeing this, but these snakes are gonna come after us. It's not gonna be good. We need to make notes. We need to make notes.
Are a really cool looking breed of chicken if you want to have a look.
I don't know. We need an anti-snake meeting immediately. I am concerned about our futures. Very concerned. Never heard that they're eating their own hearts. They're eating their own hearts at this point. And Finny and KB need to stop chewing on my feather. Unbelievable. Whew. My mind is literally blown. Okay. Whew. Eating their own hearts, guys. Their own hearts. Okay. They're so determined to destroy us, they're eating themselves. Okay, okay. Whew. All right, we're good. Whew. We're good. All right. Compliment time. Disneyland has had their Haunted Mansion closed for, well, not that it was closed, but the queue in the surrounding area got torn out and rebuilt. I'm going to give some compliments here and also some nots. The anti of compliment. But I think for the most part, they did a absolutely fantastic job.
Two tipped $3. Centipedes can be scarier than snakes. Some species, like the giant centipede, can grow over a foot long, are venomous, and can kill prey many times their size.
Yeah, but they
Their
got the cute
fast,
little feetsies.
unpredictable movements and ability to climb walls amplify their creep factor.
Yeah, but they got the cute little feetsies, so they're okay. We're pro centipede around here. So Haunted Mansion. They did a good job. So the bottleneck with the Haunted Mansion has been that because the park has expanded in capacity, they've had to move the queue outside of the confines of the attraction's footprint. So there was an area next to it called Magnolia Park, original to New Orleans when it was built back in the 60s. And that area used to be just like a quiet area of the park. Just outside of Magnolia Park was the train station, so the New Orleans train station. And they, what they've done, and this is an unfortunate thing, like I don't like what they did, but they took out a good chunk of what was Magnolia Park and incorporated that into the Haunted Mansion queue. Now, I understand why they had to do it. There's a necessity of increasing the queue because the Haunted Mansion's queue spilled out into Magnolia Park, kind of mitigating the quiet, tranquil park area because everywhere needs like a quieter spot. I think they could have done the Magnolia Park, designed it better, but I think they did a fantastic job with the queue. Haunted Mansion is a very special attraction. It is such a classic attraction. So I think they paid the Haunted Mansion its due with the queue. So the queue is now spaced out into 3 different zones now. So when you enter the queue, you have an area that's themed after like the ship captain. It's kind of deep lore of the Haunted Mansion we don't need to go into. So that area kind of has like sea themed, like kind of spooky plants, garden art. And then there's a Madame Leota area, the seance person. And that's really cool. That's really cool. And then you come out of that area and you loop back around and there's like a greenhouse and there is now the ADA elevator. So that's the main point of this whole thing. Like why did Imagineering and Disney decide to completely renovate a queue after this many years? It is because, and I have some experience with this, being a man of wheels, that the Haunted Mansion has a ADA problem. So if you want to experience the attraction prior to this, if you were a person who has a disability, you would have 3 options. You would have there was a red card, and there was 2 other colors I forgot. I was a red man. I'm a red card person, so I always got the red card. So what that meant was that they took all the people who needed special assistance off to the side. And basically, in some cases, you waited longer. People always thought, oh, look at those wheelchair people over there skipping the line. No, you can only bring down 3 wheelchairs at a time. And that changed based on like California regulation over years. Sometimes they would bring down more, sometimes they wouldn't. It was a whole thing. But typically, at least when I went, the rule was you can only have 3 wheelchairs in the mansion at a time. So you had to wait for those 3 people to go into the attraction, come back, and then you could go in, often waiting longer in that area than you would in the normal queue. So basically what you would do is you would, in your wheelchair, you would go in up the ramp, down the stretching room, wait down there for even longer, for another like good 10 minutes for the attraction to cycle enough to get the more accessible doom buggies, transfer onto those, and then once you've concluded your ride, you come all the way back to the station where you boarded your doom buggy. So you stay on the ride past the exit.
Fossils of Tetrapodophys, an ancient snake-like creature, reveal it had 4 small legs. These
still not scarier than a snake.
For grasping or burrowing, offer a glimpse into snakes' evolution from lizards.
Yeah, I like those ones better.
Snake with cute feet.
I like those ones better. We're sticking with those ones are better than snakes. So you don't exit if like you're familiar with the Haunted Mansion, how you exit in the tomb and you go up next to little Yoda. If you're a person of wheels, you go back to the station and then you're escorted by a cast member back to the stretching room. You wait for all the people to get out of the stretching room, and then you are brought back into the stretching room. You go up the stretching room, the doors open, people flood in, so now you're trapped in your chair and it's all chaotic. So what they've done now is basically you go through the queue, you go down the stretching room, you do the same procedure for the attraction, but now instead of going back up the stretching room elevator, you go out of a different hallway, up a much smaller, just traditional elevator, obviously, and then you go out into a tomb, and then you're out of the attraction. You no longer have to fight the flow of people coming at you in a wheelchair going through the queue, which I think it's a plus. I think it's a plus. And honestly, I think the wheelchairs going through the queue is actually going to be shorter than it was before. I think a wheelchair person may actually have a shorter time in the queue than they did before, having to wait so long for these different procedures to work through. And I would assume, like, for a Haunted Mansion cast member, this has got to be great for them.
Tipped $3. I think you might have missed my last dono due to the scroll. College alpaca is called Sinbad, and there's a really funky looking chicken breed called Polish chickens. Worth a look.
Yeah, I want to look up those chickens. I love alpacas. They're so silly. They're so funny. There's some llamas that live near me that I like. Oh, never mind. They all died. I forgot. So sad. Anyway, so I think from a cast member's perspective, it must be so much more efficient now to just have wheelchairs go through the queue, down, they help them onto the attraction, and then send it back over the other elevator instead of all the different escorting and holding people back and moving people this way and the other way. I can imagine cast members are just like, whew, life's a lot easier. At least I hope it is. I hope it is for them. But I think they did a good job. I don't like what they did with Magnolia Park. I think they could have done better with that. They cut a lot of the planters away from the train station and like inserted like stroller parking. It's like
people made fun of me because I loved Disney and I'm a boy. One day a guy asked me, condescendingly, which Disney princess I liked most. I felt so embarrassed. Thanks for making me feel normal by liking Disney. BTW, do you like Bob Iger?
Aurora's pretty cool. Don't be embarrassed of things you enjoy. Most of the time, people who treat people like that are just insecure in their own things, or they just don't really have anything going on in their head. There's nothing worse than somebody who has like zero interest or passions. At least you have a passion and interest. Do I like Bob Iger? I have a very mixed feelings towards Bob Iger. Bob Iger, when he took over in, let's just say 2005 or so, fantastic. Did everything correct, in my opinion, in that era. So what he did was he repaired all the relationships that were destroyed. At that point, like, Pixar was like done with Disney. Like, they were on the outs with Disney, and he brought them back into the fold. He went and made like big special like overtures to go like talk to Steve Jobs. He went to Sonoma to like talk with Lasseter at the time. Like, he went all out to like try to repair that Pixar relationship, because at that point Disney's animation was so in the toilet. I mean, people often like complain about today, nowhere near as bad as it was.
The ratio of snakes to humans is approximately 1 snake for every 1,000 people. With around 4.2 million residents and diverse snake species of 15 types, there are around 4,200 snakes. Sleep well.
I'm not sleeping well. Guaranteed. That's I don't like those odds. Never tell me the odds. So like in that era, right? So getting Pixar on board, repairing Disney animation, because like I said, I'll say this 1,000 times. If people think today's like movies, you know, are kind of like, they were so much worse in the past. And if you looked at the parks in particular, like, people complain, and I've complained a lot about some decisions made in the parks in the last few years. They're nowhere near the issues that Disney had in the late 90s. In the late 90s, Disney was complicit in their first, like, their fault death in the park. Like, the amount of neglect in the parks, you walk down Main Street, the buildings were like peeling paint, the like trash cans always overflow. Like, it was not great in the 90s, and he turned it around. Like, one of the things they did when he took over was putting somebody that eventually they fired, but putting Matt Lamette in the position that he was in during the 50th anniversary of Disneyland, who saved Disneyland. Matt Lamette saved Disneyland. Iger put him in that position. Eventually there was power struggles, and you know how it always goes. But that guy saved Disney. The amount of things that Matt Lamette saved from, like, basically the dumpster, Disney fans should be appreciative of that person. The Lily Bell on the back of the Disneyland train, you love seeing that. It's pretty cool, right? That was basically dry rotted and ready to be scrapped if it wasn't for Matt Lamette seeing that and being like, what are we doing? That's a piece of legacy and history to the company. Letting this get neglected and destroyed like this is insane. He restored it. It's still on the train today. These are just one of the many things that Matt Lamette back then. So this was like a 2000, like, I would say he was there from, like, let's just make up a number, from like 2003 to 2006, 7, somewhere around then. That's probably not super accurate, but close enough for our purposes. But back then it was terrible. And they brought back so much of the standard that was Disney to that era. But then you fast forward to around 2016 is when I feel like Iger started going downhill. That's when, you know, the succession plan was started, and he kept pushing that back. He kept, you know, getting rid of people in the company that posed a threat to him and his power that would be future successors. Even though he was scheduled to retire, he kept pushing out the people that was supposed to replace him. And that caused such an issue that we ended up with Bobby Paycheck in the end. And, like, never forget, like, Bob Iger put Bob Jacob in that position. And as bad as Bob Jacob was, Iger put him in that position and backed him up 100%. And, like, I have a hard time getting over that with Iger. And then for, you know, I mean, there's just so many things that are hard, because it's like you look at Iger and you say he did these things so wonderfully in that era that saved the company. And then I feel like there was a downfall. And I think that is the same with most humans in a position of extreme power like that, is that they get in with good intentions, they start making progress, and then there is a sense of, like, ego and or self-preservation and a lack of accountability of things you may have done wrong, so you double down on them, not in saying that they were correct, and you just keep doubling down on them until it absolutely blows up in your face. And I think Iger should have left in his original succession plan was like 2014, somewhere around there, around the time Shanghai Disneyland opened. He should have bowed out, and he should have put Tom Staggs as the CEO of the company, and we would be in a different world right now if that had happened. Tom Staggs was a money guy. He was the CFO. Who's the money guy in the companies? Isn't that him? So he was a money guy. But what he did fantastically when he was moved from the money position to the parks chairman to get more experience under the belt, CFO, he let creatives be creatives, and he let people explain to him how things operate. And then he was able to put his own, like, thoughts in, you know, like how things should go. He was fantastic. Originally, people saw him as like, oh, great, a money guy's now going to be in charge of the parks. Turned out to be fantastic, but sadly he was scapegoated over the cost overruns in Shanghai, so Iger could point to him as, hey, we got rid of somebody who didn't manage Shanghai well, even though Shanghai was never going to be managed well, and just its nature of how crazy that whole project was. And he was scapegoated, so Iger looked better for Wall Street in that era. So a good potential CEO got thrown out, so Iger could say, hey, don't worry, Wall Street, yeah, I know we have all these cost overruns. It's okay, we got rid of him. And then they install Bob Paycheck in that position. Then Bob Paycheck eventually becomes CEO, runs the company further into the ground. I don't know, it's tough because, like I said, I'll say it again, Iger did fantastic things when he first became CEO, but over that course of time, I think that ego and that sense of, like, I can do no wrong just became too much. And it's quite disturbing. It's like disturbing to see on that level, because he is literally creating a lot of the issues that his predecessor created.
Vent tipped $3.
Just not as bad.
Sorry,
It really is.
so irrelevant. But watching you has helped me come to terms with things regarding my own disabilities. It's comforting to see somebody be so open and unashamed, and really made an impact on me for the better. Thank you, less than 3.
Oh, good. Thank you for that. That's very nice of you to say. I appreciate that. Yeah, I appreciate that a lot. Thank you for that nice message. Yeah, being disabled's difficult, but one thing it's you shouldn't add to that plate is being ashamed. It is what it is. You are who you are, and if somebody has a problem with it, well, they can go be thrown in a pit of snakes. So yeah, I don't know. It's so hard. We really went on a rant on Bob Iger, but yeah, it's a wild ride. Bob Iger is a wild ride. I've met Bob Iger once and seen it, then been in a room near him another time. I don't know where it is, but I have this autograph somewhere over here. It used to be there. I'm not sure. I think I put it somewhere. See, Iger, one of the big things that Iger did that was really successful is he saw the failings of California Adventure at Disneyland. And he organized like a board meeting and got the board behind it. And they went into California Adventure and then did version 2. And then, completely transformed that park from what it was. And there's an Imagineer named Bob Wise. And he had a blog. And he had a passage on his blog when Steve Jobs died. Because Steve Jobs at the time was on the board of directors. And he said, he said a few things on how Steve Jobs, interacted with them on the board of the directors. And one of the things Steve Jobs said when they approved California Adventure's remodeling was that Steve Jobs came to him and said, "This isn't far enough. Like, this is just this proposal and the budget given is only scratching the surface on what needs to be done at this park to make it successful." And Steve Jobs was 100% correct, because in that era, they cut the budget pretty hard about halfway through. So the budget only allowed for Buena Vista Street, Mermaid, and the kind of half redoing of Paradise Pier. So they're only able to do like bits and parts. And then Cars Land, that was it. Like, they didn't have any more budget. That was it, right? And he was mad, apparently, that they didn't give him more budget to actually properly redo Paradise Pier, to properly redo the Hollywood backlot area that got stripped from the budget. And he wrote that in his blog because I used to follow his blog. One day later, he deleted that, never to be seen again. Somebody at Disney was like, let's not talk about that. Let's not talk about that. I wish I saved the article. He literally wrote a blog spot about it in his blog. Oh, it was funny. I just think it's so funny that he deleted that from there. But Steve Jobs was right. Like, he was right. Like, Disney at that time, it was good that they did what they did. It needed to be done, but they didn't go far enough, and they needed to finish that. They needed to complete Paradise Pier, because you add the Midway and Midway was not part of the budget that was the renovation of California Adventure. It came from a separate budget before that budget was approved. But they built that area up and made it this Victorian pier, and they were going in the right direction. And then Bobby Paycheck comes in and says, "It's time to synergize. Everybody, it's time to synergize. Find an IP, shove it in their faces. Everything's gotta be IP. Everything's gotta be IP. Shove it in their faces. Shove it in their faces. Take their money." And then he comes in there, and they basically have just like destroyed Paradise Pier, and like there's like old California Adventure Paradise Pier elements still there. There's some Victorian Pier elements from the 2007 renovation, and then there's the 2018 Pixar Pier overlay, and it is a mess thematically. Like, people enjoy the rides, right? They enjoy the Incredicoaster, they enjoy Midway Mania, but from a thematic standpoint, from an artistic standpoint, from an architectural standpoint, from a storytelling perspective, an absolute dumpster fire. But yeah, it's yeah, we got on a real rant today, haven't we all? And any other things you want to know I could pull out of the old. Steve Jobs saved Pixar. Steve Jobs, if I remember correctly, let's go back in time. Steve Jobs bought Pixar from Lucasfilm for like $1 million or something. And the idea was that he was going to use the quote unquote Pixar computer that rendered things. He was going to sell that to architectural firms, hospitals, things along those lines. So back then, say, Pixar always had the dream of making a feature-length animated movie with 3D animation technology. They had no money. Steve Jobs buys it and says, hey, this is cool technology. You, Lasseter, and all these guys, you go over there and you come up with what you want, play around, have fun, but you can only do it at night because I got to take this computer and go sell it to places to actually make money. And then he joins the board of, or rejoins Apple again. And then Pixar starts, not selling computers and actually making films. So that's kind of like a very abridged, poorly told Pixar history. And then eventually, Iger repairs the relationship that Michael Eisner nearly destroyed. And then they go, and then Disney buys Pixar after that. What do I think about the Disney era of Star Wars? I mean, it's a mixed bag, honestly. I know there's people that there's people that'll be like, I love everything. Everything is wonderful. And then there's people like, I hate everything. Everything is blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, I just don't think any of those people are quite honest. Like, there's good, there's bad. There's good, there's bad. Why do you look so silly? There's good and there's bad, for sure. I think the trilogy was flawed. I think things they've done on Disney Plus is a mixed bag. There's good and there's bad. There's good and they're bad. I think what they're suffering from is really, really, really bad leadership, and that can be told by how projects keep coming and going. They can't make up their mind. What's the word I'm looking for? Indecisive as I am with my next Hermitcraft episode. Like, how many times are they going to announce a movie and then pull the plug on it? Announce a movie, pull the plug on it. Where's my stone? It's crazy. I think they lack proper leadership at Lucasfilm, and until they have a proper and focused leadership, they'll just keep making half-baked things. It's just the way it is. So we just kind of hope for the best. They lack vision. They lack the ability just to do anything. I mean, how many movies and series do they announce and then pull the plug on? Announce and pull the plug on. Like, don't announce anything until you have cameras rolling at this point. Like, just don't. It just looks bad. Like, I think I named off once how many shows, how many movies have been canceled that have been announced and hyped on stages. And it's like, you don't see that with Marvel. I mean, they've had a few times where they've had to like cancel something or change something, but compared to Star Wars, it's insane. It's just a bad look, honestly. It's a really bad look. It shows really bad leadership. They need to have decisive decisions. They need to have a coherent vision, and they just seem to be grasping at things. Like a director will come to them and be like, hey, I've always wanted to make Ocean's 7 in Star Wars, or I want to make Goonies in Star Wars. How about you just make a freaking Star Wars movie? You don't have to retell some other thing in Star Wars. Like, there's fundamental things that Star Wars succeeds on, and they just seem to forget those things. But whatever. I like The Mandalorian. I think I like The Mandalorian a lot. And you know what? This maybe get some pushback. I've had a little bit more appreciation lately for the Boba Fett show. I know some people aren't going to be happy, but I've had a little bit more appreciation for the Boba Fett show. I still think that Boba's character was a little like in the speeder bikes. Like, what were we thinking here, guys? Like, why is this man of Boba Fett's reputation walking around in a robe, soaking wet? Like, it just. I'm not even gonna think about it, or the bikes. But I do think in retrospect to some of the stuff lately, it's like it wasn't that bad. Maybe it wasn't as bad as we thought. Why is there so many mobs here? But yeah, any other deep dives in Disney history you want? Ask me. Sadly, I probably would know. Q&A, obscure Disney history. Go. Muppets. Oh, the Muppets, guys, the Muppets. Oh my God, the Muppets. I like the Muppets. I'm not like a super die-hard Muppet fan, but I like the Muppets. So I feel really bad for the super die-hard Muppet people out there that Muppet Vision 3D is being closed at Hollywood Studios. It's really sad, honestly, because, you know, D23, there's a lot of positivity about D23 and the things that they were being added to the parks. And it turned out that Slick JD, good old JD, true used car salesman, he is, basically, you know, brought out a lot of like hype at D23 and then slowly drip feeds all the bad news afterwards, being like, hey, we're getting rid of the Rivers of America. Hey, we're getting rid of Muppets 3D. Oh, I wonder why you obfuscated that at the presentation. Oh, because people would have been livid. So yeah, it's yeah, Muppets is sad. I do feel bad, but on a positive note, so if I looked at this, how I would do this, let's look at how I would have done this. So you're taking Muppets out and you're going to replace it with Monstropolis, which looks kind of cool, to be honest. It looks pretty cool. And you're going to take the Rock and Roll Roller Coaster out of its current theme and you're going to re-theme it to Muppets. Okay, sweet. You're taking a family property and putting it on what I think is Disney's wildest roller coaster in the... I don't think there's anything more crazy than Rock and Roll Roller Coaster in Disney's like arsenal of roller coasters. Disneyland Paris's Space Mountain is pretty wild, but I don't think it compares to Rock and Roller Coaster. Yeah, I would say Rock and Roller Coaster is Disney's most intense roller coaster. You're taking a family thing and then you're now putting Muppets on it. So you're kind of like alienating a decent amount of people who would have enjoyed that. So what I would do if I was them is that right next door is Lightning McQueenie show, whatever it is. Straight up just pick Muppets up, spend some money for God's sakes. This is Jim Henson's last production, and move Muppets Vision over to Lightning McQueen and completely re-theme the area that is Rock and Roller Coaster today and will be eventually the Muppets ride, and make that into a Muppets land, like a real Muppets land, like a proper Muppets land, proper Muppet buildings, proper Muppet shops. I want to make a Muppet. I want to eat at a Muppet shop. I think it would be incredible. And it would be such a bone to the Disney community that you care and not only care about literally milking the wallet every chance you get. And is it going to cost you that much money? No, it's a theater with some animatronics that are already there. Just put it there. It's such a goodwill gesture to the community that makes you like stop taking advantage of the community for 5 seconds and just do that. And it wouldn't be that big of a deal. You make boatloads of money, and I get that you've had so many failed movies over the last couple of years where you've lost hundreds of millions of dollars, but the parks are what keeps you from going bankrupt. So give the people at the parks a bone that have kept your fledgling studio alive for all of these years lately, and just put Muppets Vision in the Lightning McQueen building and theme that area to a Muppets land and have a shop where you can build your own marionette Muppet. Boom, $1 billion idea. I have not seen Wild Robot. I've heard many good things. The Swedish Chef's Restaurant. See, like, people would love that. It would be a huge hit. But in the end, what are they going to do, guys? They're going to look at their pocketbook and they're going to go, let's put Muppet Vision 3D on Disney Plus. And let's be honest, the Muppets film isn't all that great. It's about the experience. It's about the experience of being in a big theater that's interacting around you. You got those old men up in the corner there shouting and hollering. You got the mouse there launching rockets. It's an experience. It's a whole experience. And by just putting the film on Disney Plus, like they'll probably do, it's such a slap. Like, it is such a slap. But at the end of the day, Disney's got their arsenal of vloggers and influencers that are just ready, just willing and ready to go out there and defend them at any cost to stay on that media list so they could get those $15 cupcakes for free. Those people will do anything. And may I say, never disclose their sponsorships or the free things they get. All those Disney vloggers that are getting all that free stuff, you're in violation of the FCC, or is it it's one of those. You're in violation of those things. You're not checking those boxes on YouTube about disclosure. Yeah, someday the roosters are going to come home to roost over that. So all those people getting that free stuff out there, they ain't disclosing that. Sometimes they'll say, "Oh, Disney flew us out." No disclosure. You got to check those boxes. They don't. There's so much about that stuff. All the influencers that went to the Galactic Star Cruiser never mentioned that they got paid. Never mentioned they got paid. So when you're out there and you're watching these people, like, you gotta be a little careful about the shady media list. It's shady as can be. That's why I love Fresh Baked. Fresh Baked at Disneyland does a fantastic job. He says he super positive, great guy, and also like still not on the media list because he dares to like criticize every once in a while. You know what? That's a person of integrity. I think he does a great job with his show and doesn't bow down to Disney, so he gets a $15 free cupcake. And I think he has a better channel, a better show, and a better spot than any of the people who bow down for those $15 cupcakes for free.
3000 tipped $3. What are your thoughts on trackless ride systems that seem to be implemented in all newer rides?
Oh man, in the early 2000s, I wanted nothing more than a trackless ride. The only trackless ride in the Disney arsenal of ride systems was in Tokyo, and it was their Winnie the Pooh. Their Winnie the Pooh was incredible. And then they built the one in Disney World and Disneyland that are it basically like a quarter of the budget. Watch the video, guys. After stream or whatever, watch the Tokyo Disneyland's Winnie the Pooh. It's maybe not as impressive these days when you compare some of some newer attractions out there, but in its time, it was like mind-boggling. This is a sad fact, is I've never been on a trackless ride. So it's hard for me to say, but I do know from what people have said a lot of times is that there are some downsides to trackless. One, it's reliability. Two, it creates these like large cavernous spaces, so you're so far from the sets that you're supposed to be a part of. It's why even though Fantasyland dark rides are basically plywood painted sets, they feel almost more immersive because they're so much closer to you. And obviously there's some modern building codes that make that have to be a reality, but I'd say those are probably the two downsides of trackless. But I've never been on one. I haven't been on Rise of the Resistance. I haven't been on the Ratatouille. I haven't been on Mickey's Runaway Railroad. So I haven't got to experience any of those, unfortunately. I want to. I've always wanted to. Let's see, when I was a cast member, especially on the holiday parties, the vloggers were so obviously getting paid because they didn't even buy the exclusive merch. They would just come in the Emporium, film footage. I gotcha. Yeah, exactly. Like, there's actually really great, vloggers that don't do that, but the vast majority do.
I was wondering what you think of Andor. I don't know if you've talked about it before, but it's my favorite Star Wars show, D.
Oh, I liked Andor. I feel like it got a little repetitive or just a little long in the tooth in a few areas that I feel like they maybe could have like cut down a little bit. And I feel like it could have used maybe just like a little spark more of like, I don't know, that little spark of what Star Wars is. But overall, I liked it. Very high quality. Tony Gilroy is a fantastic filmmaker. And I think the next season is going to be absolutely incredible. I think it's going to be really good. We're going to get the robot guy. We're getting a Krennic. Oh, I'm excited. I'm excited. And it's like, you don't besmirch the people for like getting on the media list. You besmirch them for not disclosing it. Like, I don't know how they've gotten away with that. Okay, I need to add some more details to the bank here. It's a little bit plain and boring across here. So I'm going to go grab some Blackstone.
$3. I'm excited and a little nervous for my Tokyo Disney Sea trip around Christmas. Ooh. I don't know what to expect or what I should do in preparation. What should I check out?
Wow, man. Well, first of all, you're going to have a boatload of fun. Very, very jealous. The biggest thing I would say is prepare, set your expectations for crowds. I think that's one of the big things is a lot of times, like, yeah, you're going to encounter a lot of crowds, but having the expectation that you're going to be dealing with big crowds, knowing going in is good. Like, you kind of know, like, okay, it's going to be crowded, instead of like going like thinking it's going to be light. Because I know when I've gone to parks and it's gotten like, I thought it was going to be really like calm and it was going to be chill, and it wasn't at all. It was kind of like disheartening. And there are times I thought, it's going to be really crowded, and it wasn't. So just kind of, I think it would set your expectations. It'll probably be pretty crowded. The things that I would try to see, and I don't know what their refurbishment schedules are, so I don't know what's operating, what's not. But Journey to the Center of the Earth is an incredible attraction, just an achievement of themed entertainment. The Imagineers did such a fantastic job on that. So I would try to make that be a priority. I'm going to say for Fantasy Springs, don't plan on going there, and if you end up there, just be like, yo, let's go, we got in.
Hi Scar, it's the Scarlet person again. Unfortunately, I'm no longer able to interact with him due to server provider mishaps. My friends and I are joking that he is all yours forever now, so what should I do to please him?
Let's see. What am I missing? I'm missing something. It's this robot person again. What am I missing? Wait, hold on. Wait, what? Was this a message before? Why is my brain not... why am I forgetting? Hold on. Give me context. Give me context. I'm in the middle of a rant. I don't know. I feel like I'm missing something and my brain's just not firing. But for Tokyo Disney Seas, with the new expansion area, I just don't get... Just, as I said before, like, set your expectations ahead of time. And I would say... know that you might not be able to get it in there, or it might be really crowded for the new Fantasy Springs area. So if you get in there, that's like a bonus, I would say. The time I got super disappointed with crowds was
Holiday
like...
Edge 13 tipped $3. Scar, if you ever come to the UK, I recommend Blackpool Blesh Beach. They have a Wallace and Gromit themed ride.
I love Wallace and
Alton
Gromit.
Towers, which is a theme park built on around a 17th century castle. The atmosphere is great and the rides are great, especially 13.
Oh yeah, Alton Towers looks like a great place, especially like the cool gardens and the castle and stuff. I did not know about this Wallace and Gromit attraction. I love Wallace and Gromit, so that's cool. Let's see, what else about Tokyo Disney that I've always wanted to see? I've always wanted to walk around the Maracosta, the hotel there. It just looks so cool. So that's kind of like the entrance to Tokyo Disney Seas, and it's like their big fancy hotel. I always just wanted to walk around there. It's kind of a Venetian design. It just looks really fun. So yeah, Journey to the Center of the Earth. Always wanted to walk around that hotel because it looks really cool. Their Indiana Jones is fancy. There's Soarin'. It's just a fancier version of Soarin' than we have in the domestic parks. There's an attraction that's... Oh, the Tower of Terror. That's right. Their Tower of Terror. I was like, what is it? Their Tower of Terror, High Tower Hotel, is so incredible. Oh, the videos and everything about that are so cool. So I would make a priority to try to get on that, or center of the earth. Both those attractions are incredible. I was like, what is it? What is it? And I would try to eat at the ship, like the old like steam ship. That looked really fun. I always wanted to eat there. So those are some ideas. Soren is lame. I'm not sorry. It's like a little bit fancier version of the one in the States. I wish California Adventure would just go back to the California film.
Melody to Rebel tipped $3. Hey Scar, back in the Ore Mountain stream I asked for a tattoo idea around season 8 and you suggested to get the boat and pole. Finally after a couple of months I got it done. I'm super in love with it. Thank you for the eye.
That's cool. That's cool. That's amazing. Oh my god. I mean, I see Regulus like, I got a guide you can use. My ideas are optimistic ideas, Rig. My ideas are optimistic. You have a much more realistic eye on what you can or can't do. I just have like an optimistic look at it. I've always wanted to go to Tokyo Disney. Tokyo Disney is just on this next level there. Like they're like, hey, our Space Mountain is the same old Space Mountain. It's been Space Mountain for a long, long time. Why don't we just tear down Space Mountain and build up a new, bigger, fancier version? That's what they do at Tokyo Disney. That's kind of like the level that they get wild at. Like, can you imagine the leadership in Disney World being like, you know what? Why don't we tear down this Space Mountain and build like an even bigger, better one? It would never happen. They'd be like, our ROI states that there is an infinite amount of data showing that we believe that if we continue to milk this for all it's worth for the next 100 years, like, no, Tokyo Disney's like, we're tearing it down, we're building it bigger and better, we're doing it live. Tokyo Disneyland's wild. Their leadership is wild. Wild people over there. My opinion on the upcoming movie Mufasa, The Lion King. If that's a live action movie, I will not be seeing it. I have never seen a live action Disney remake, and I don't ever plan to. From the very beginning, even though my mom loved it was like the first one, it was the Alice in Wonderland one.
The Scarret was from TwitchCon, Scar. He will never be able to sit on my shoulder again and I'm sad about it. Frown. So what do I do to make me less sad to please him?
Way to please him. Oh no, I will think for you. What was it? It was the Alice in Wonderland thing. I know she really liked it. But I always just felt like it was an unnecessary cash grab, and I never took part. I just feel like it wasn't getting anything other than like, oh, that's what that person looks like in real life. That's all I saw it at. I didn't see anything new, nothing new creative, nothing whatever. But you know, if people like it, they like it. That's awesome. It's just not for me. Trying to think of what cool things are in Tokyo Disney Seas. Yeah, that looks better. I like that there's a little bit of rock along here. I think that makes that look nicer. And those movies used to those live action movies made so much money. See, back in the day, that's what I was so concerned with Disney was doing. Like in those that latter part of the teens.
Lambs 24 tipped $5. Was this wildlife episode's name intentionally diabolical or was it completely innocent? The first got to know.
The name of wildlife? Well, wildlife was wild because it's like wild cards. Like that's the genesis. I know Green did have a lot of like potential names. I just remember one day he's like, I'm settling on this. I'm settling on this. What was it? I'm trying to think of some of the other names. They were funny. Let's see. Episode title. Oh, the episode title. Yeah, people said that was like wrong or whatever, or like Jem gave me the gem scar. When I do something wrong, Jem goes, Scar. I'm sitting on their faces. I'm literally planted on there. It's a phrasing issue again. Oh my God. I need like can somebody get me a phrasing book for Christmas? Scar, phrasing it this way means this. I would appreciate that, like a thesaurus. I really butchered the word thesaurus there. Well, it got really like in the teeth on it. Thesaurus. Bad phrasing with Scar. Okay, I'd like for Christmas a phrasing book. I feel like people just got their heads in in places that I don't venture in, I guess. Let's see. I need that book, guys. Christmas ideas.
Periglows cheered X300. I love your phrasing, Scar. It's perfect.
It's perfect. I don't need the book. I need the book. I feel like I need the book. I need the book. I need the book. I need to understand. Trying to make this like a little bit more detailed, but not trying to get too wild with it. Okay, I do think that's looking better. Like this area was always lacking in any detail.
$3. Please never change. It gives me good tweets to tweet.
Good tweets to tweet. Good tweets to tweet. What do you call tweets now? Do you just call them that? Hey, just did a little Xing. Like what? It's such bad branding. Just did a little Xing. Just got done doing my Xing. It just doesn't roll off the tongue, guys. It just doesn't roll off the tongue. Just did my Xing. Don't worry. Hey, can you help support me? Sure, I'm gonna X ya. I'm gonna re-X ya. Let me re-X ya. It just doesn't make any sense to me. Oh God. Oh well. Have I considered joining Blue Sky? All my names are taken, and I don't have the energy or time. Like if Twitter caught on fire one day and just disappeared, I just focus on Instagram and or Discord. Like I couldn't imagine dealing with another social media.
There was a restaurant called Topola Bambo, but only the BAM part of their sign was lit up. I took a picture of it because wildlife.
Wildlife. See a in Glasgow, a restaurant called BAM. The BAM was just lit up. That's funny. I don't know. Who knows? I might make up another account at some point or whatever, but as it stands now, like the idea of doing another social media platform similar to the other one that's just people yelling is exhausting to think about. The thought of that is just exhausting. Mentally and physically. If you say it's more chill, from a content creator's perspective, it's just another lane for people to yell at you. So, I mean, it's good that like just, you know, people chilling and having a good time. But from a content perspective, it's just like, oh no, they're still gonna yell. They're still gonna yell. That's something. Okay, I like that. I think that's good. Yeah, because it kind of tapers down a little bit, which I think is cool. It just needs like one extra detail. Let me see. I think this spot, it just needs like an extra detail along here. Yeah, I think that looks good. I'm happy with that. I think that's good. I think that's good. Blue Sky has a nature algorithm, doesn't promote engagement. Oh, that's interesting. Okay, now you got me intrigued. Now you got me intrigued now. I like to see the algorithms crash and
Silence
burn.
underscore lambs 24 tipped $3. I know you and Grian were staying away from each other in the beginning of wildlife, but I'm so glad you guys are hanging out more now because your interactions genuinely make my week.
Who's blowing up my landscape? Dang it. Sorry. What? Sorry, I'll go back to your message 1 second. Like, oh my gosh. My beautiful landscape. What have you done to my boy? What have you done to my boy? There we go. There we go. There we go. There we go. Oh my gosh. Destruction, my friends. Just absolute destruction. It's creepers. There we go. We're fixed, guys. We're fixed. There we are. Sweet. Man, just coming over here, destroying my things. A few more grass blades there. There we go. Man, my inventory is a mess. Another Minecraft update goes by, guys. Nothing's ever done about the inventory. Dude, I try to get excited for bundles. I think there's some things that are okay with them, but wildlife is... Man, wildlife, using bundles in wildlife, I gave up on it. It's tough. It's tough to manage. But yeah, if you say Blue Sky doesn't have an algorithm, I'll just make a... This is the real Scar account. Because all my other accounts are taken. But just make the real Scar account. This is the real Scar this time, guys. Believe me, this one's the real one. I wholly believe that algorithms are the reason for many ills in our society. Because often, and this has been found out to be the case, that many algorithms actually promote what will keep you on the platform the longest, and what keeps people on platforms the longest is drama. People love drama. People love to argue and fight as much as they say they don't. They love it. They love it to pieces. It's in our DNA, sadly, in some ways, and these algorithms just enhance the negative aspects of humans' instincts. So if you get away from the algorithm, that's not a bad thing. The algorithms are bane of our existence on YouTube. The algorithm is kicking every YouTuber's butt right now. YouTube will pull switches once in a while, and they're like, too much Minecraft. This is a real thing. Too much Minecraft, and just whew, cut it off. Cut it off at the legs. If you enjoy our content, Life Series, Hermitcraft, the only way that we can possibly grow these days is if people share it with your friends. If you enjoy it, share it with your friend. If you enjoy what Joel's doing, or Mumbo, or Grian, or Jem, or Cub, or Cleo, B-dubs, like anybody, share it with a friend. Be like, yo, you like Minecraft? Look what B-dubs did. He built a giant rock. Super cool. Do you love watching Hermit? Do you love Minecrafters Scar smashing people? Watch this. That is like the literally only way these days. So if you like something, share it. Otherwise it might die. So share it with your friends. There we go. I'm going free cam for a second here. Okay, so obviously there's a lot of detail and there's not a lot of detail. That'll change, right? It's not going to die. I'm being hyperbolic. I'm just being silly. So I think eventually this will have more terrain back here. I'm just kind of getting the bank set up. Just getting the bank set up. Now, wait a second. Phrasing again on Scar Smash? No, hold on. We're going to have a Scar moment here, a Scar talk. No, it's a play on the Hulk Smash. There's nothing wrong with the Hulk Smash. There's nothing wrong with the Hulk Smash, guys. No phrasing. I will not accept it. This is like bang. I am in full saying that nothing wrong with the word bang and nothing wrong with the word smash. I refuse to believe it, and I won't take it. I won't take it. Yeah, it's nothing wrong with smash. It's like the Hulk Smash. You know, the big green guy. All right. Is this looking good? I think this is looking somewhat presentable now. Oh, by the way, hello. I named this. I named this area. It's called the Scarred National Forest or the Scarred National Park. I haven't decided, but it's called the Scarred Forest.
Every Monday we gather in my friend's student accommodation kitchen on lunch break and discuss wildlife.
Oh, dude, that's awesome. I love that. You guys all get together and talk? Oh, I love that. That makes me happy. Things like that make me so happy.
Gong in 2 tipped $3. Hype train is close. Perfect time to prank Doc unless you forgot Fry.
Oh, we got a prank Doc. That's right. That's right. That's right. But I do want to point out that this is now the Scarred Forest, the Scarred National Park or Scarred National Forest. Whatever. Anyway, I think it's cool because these trees, a lot like redwood trees in real life, they're very scarred on the outside, right? That's kind of the nature of their bark and years of getting battered in the weather, because they're very they look kind of scarred. So and it plays on the name too. So yeah, this is the Scarred National Park over here, and this is like a originally when we designed it was a national park style old fashioned train station. So I think it's pretty cool. I'm really happy with it. I think it looks nice. It looks nice, and like I said, we'll have this area more terraformed up so it doesn't look so plain and boring. But I think it'll look really cool. Now, you want to see something? Do you want to see something? I've got something very cool to show you. Would you like to see something? I have something to show you, but I will only show you one thing from it. Actually, let me go. Where is it? Where is it? Here we go. Can I pull this up on stream? I'm gonna spoil this because, sometimes you just gotta ask yourself, why not? Sometimes you just gotta say, why not? Hold on. I got this, guys. I got this. I'm somewhat good at things. Not often, sometimes. It's gonna be good, guys. It's gonna be good. We're gonna get this. Remember how I said I was good at things? Boom. Look at those. Look at those. Look at those. Look at these. Look at how cool those are. Look at how cool those are. Look at this. Look at this one. Look at this one. Scarred National Forest. The little bobbykins. Pretty cool. Pretty cool, right? Pretty cool. Here, I'll hit you with one more thing. I'll hit you with one more thing because I absolutely love this. Where is it? Should have showed up. I'm so good at things, guys. Why is that not showing up? Oh. Whoop. Spoilers! Spoilers! Just for funsies, this is one of the coolest pictures I've seen in a long time. Look at this picture. Just for fun. Oh, wait, here it goes. Just for fun. Do you guys know what this is? That is the merchandise coming, guys, by the way. Do you know what that is? It's the VAB. It's the VAB. What an era to have been alive in that industry. My gosh. Be an engineer in that era, like seeing this constructed, just like, I mean, golly gee, like if you're out there working on this, like your mom and dad like on a horse carriage in their lives, and you're building like a building that will take you to the moon. It's cool to think about that, right? How like just insane. Like just insane to see like the like how fast engineering and stuff at that time progressed, and absolutely wild. This is another really cool shot of JFK in front of, what rocket is that? Rocket experts, I'm actually drawing a blank on what rocket that is. It's not a Saturn V, no. It's not a Saturn V. It's not Skylab. JFK had died by then. Is it Mercury or Gemini? I could not, actually, I felt bad. I felt like I didn't deserve to like space because I couldn't figure out what that rocket is. It's such a great photo. This is something like in my, like in another world of, I would have loved to have been like a photographer who documented cool things like that, right? Like just capturing like wild moments. But what rocket is that, chat? It's a Saturn 2B. It came before the Saturn. Okay. Yeah, I did not recognize what that rocket was. But it was still a wild photo. Whoever got that photo, it's a heck of a photo. Yeah. Anyway, that's the so it's a Saturn 1 predecessor to the Saturn 5. So was it a test vehicle, like testing the systems? Was it an operational rocket that like actually put things into space, or was it just a test vehicle? Because like I said, I did not recognize it. JFK went to a COD map. Oh, are you referencing the old like the Black Ops 1 map? Oh my gosh, I destroyed some people on that map. Oh my, I love that map. Man, you got Chopper Gunner on that map. You could do some damage. You could hear the other team cry. Oh, you could just sense their tears. I rarely got dogs, but my friend got dogs a lot back then. Oh my god. Just crazy times. Crazy times. It was testing system. Yeah, I figured no people, so it was just test. Okay, that makes sense.
With Wolves tipped $3 in the college Discord server. Our names are all lines from Evil Anvil's Life series songs. Mine is Green Going Scar. Put your clothes back on from Third Life.
Put your clothes back on. I figured like I really put Green. I really feel like I really put Green through the ringer on that one, because I was just kind of like a lunatic in Third Life, and that man's sole job was to protect me because of him getting me killed with the creeper, and I'm just standing there without my clothes on, and just the poor man, what he endured. I was just having fun. Like, what was cool about that, especially the first Life series, is like we had no idea what we were doing, so it was just like, I don't know, let's just figure out what we want to do. Like now, there's kind of like a little bit of like kind of a meta to it. Like, the first episode, people try to find pairs and this and that. But in that season, like Tango's out there making games, Green and I are making a Monopoly. Like nobody knew what they were doing. They just threw caution to the wind. I'm out there without any clothes on. It was crazy. It was a crazy time. Crazy time to be alive. It's unhinged energy. The randomness of the first season. Yeah, I agree. I have an idea for a series. I want to do a live stream series. Like just a pure live stream series. Like the series is just live streamed. But I feel like if, somebody who didn't really live stream wanted to make videos, that's totally 100% sweet and cool. But I want to do something that does make a focus on live aspect of it. I think it'd be really fun. I want to do it sometime for the summer. And I want to keep the premise to it extremely limited. So like where it's extremely like, I always think of this, like Minecraft and Call of Duty share a similar aspect in its overall design of its game, is that it's incredibly easy to get into and it's incredibly hard to master. And I think that's a successful formula for anything, is it's very easy to get into, very difficult to master. So that mastery takes more like time to,
Rainfall Rosie tipped $3. Hi Scar.
Hello there.
I just want to say that I love the Bamboozlers team so much.
I love the Bamboozlers.
And you, Jimmy and Lizzie, make a great trio. You guys are my comfort team this season.
Aw.
Rooting for you guys to win.
Oh, well, thank you. Yeah, I've had an absolute blast teaming with Jimmy. I've wanted to team with Jimmy for a long time. And then I must have missed the memo. I didn't know Lizzie was joining us. So it was so exciting to see Lizzie. And then Lizzie joined us. It was wonderful up in the band thing. So yeah, it was cool. And getting to know Lizzie too has been nice. Lizzie is a very, very, very nice person. So it was very nice to get more to know Lizzie. And then, like I said, I've wanted the team with Jimmy for a while. So I think we've had a lot of fun. I think in the next episode, it's going to be wild. I'm keeping that man alive. I'm keeping him alive. Keeping him alive. I'm getting that bubble suit. The one person I regret never getting to properly team with was Joel from Last Life. Yeah, Last Life. Like, he was at the bottom of the mountain. He was a wizard. I'm at the top of the mountain. I'm a wizard. But like the worlds just never, we were like two magnets that never got to like properly like fuse to create like a really fun like magical like storyline up on that hill, because like he got the boogie and that kind of changed his trajectory. Then I got like red at one point. It was the whole thing. But Joel and I never got to properly do our like wizard thing. Like, that would have been really fun, but sadly we never got to really do that. But maybe in the future, like, we could do something in another series, in our life series or whatever. But yeah, that was the one I was like, dang, that never happened. And it would have been really fun. Yeah, I'm trying to remember. It felt like so many forces kept like changing the trajectory of what we were doing at that. I couldn't even tell you what it is, because as I said, that series is still like mildly foggy, even though I went back and watched a few episodes to try not to be so foggy on it. I remember this. So there was a session I did not make. I don't know what happened on it, but there is an episode or an episode number that I was not on the server. I was in the hospital. I was in the emergency room, actually. And I remember turning out my phone because this lady across from me was threatening to kill me. She was quite upset. Similar to this fella. And she was like, I'm going to kill you. I'm going to kill all of you. And it was like, oh. And I remember all the staff was just like, just writing stuff, just laughing. Somebody was eating some chips. And I'm like, this person's kind of losing it. Like, I'm just so sick. I'm so tired. I'm like so sick. And this person is just like belly aching and about their, I'm not kidding. Are you looking at, like, she kept shouting at me, like, are you looking at me? I'm like, I'm just sitting in my chair, just hoping to go home. And I remember turning on my phone and just seeing like because sometimes like in the live series, like people will type in the chat once in a while, or if there's a break, like we usually take one break during a session. It's just like, anything going on? Anything? No? Not atypical of an emergency room. No. Yeah, then I think, then I was admitted after that. I had a good doctor. There's one doctor I always like when he comes through. It's like, it's my guy. He's an older doctor, and he's always like he's very intelligent and very calm. And he usually like takes charge of a situation, which is nice. And I remember him saying like, okay, we're going to do this, this, and this. Unfortunately, there is no rooms, and you're going to live in the ER for the next 48 hours. Didn't like that part, because it was what, 2021. There was no beds available in the hospital, and basically the emergency room became a second ward of the hospital. So I just remember he's like, get yourself comfortable. And the bed, I swear, was like literal board. It was like an actual just straight up like metal board. And I'm like, oh, it was so uncomfortable. What they were trying to do was like, they needed to put a PICC line in me, but they couldn't do it in the emergency. So like general medicine department, right? Their go-to thing so they don't deal with anything is like, go to the emergency room. They'll take care of you. They love you. They'll be so happy to see you. No, they're not. They're never happy to see me. But that's like, especially in that era, like general medicine, that's all they would ever do was like, go to the emergency. And you get there and they're like, you're going to hate me for this, but general medicine told me to come down here because I need a PICC line immediately. Like, we don't do PICC lines in the emergency room. Okay. Oh boy. But anyway, so it was in there for like 48 hours while they tried to like organize that and stuff along those lines. So it was but yeah, I remember that, and I remember they were playing, and I was just like, I'd rather be being threatened to be killed by Mumbo than this lady, because I think she would do it in real life. I think she would. Mumbo just fictionally wanted to kill me. All right, I think this is looking good. This is looking better. I'm gonna keep this fairly simple on this side. I think that's one criticism I have of the new Haunted Mansion queue, is they just kind of like went insane and just like scattered garden art everywhere. And it's like, you gotta do a little bit of like theming, you know, like spacing, scale.
Getting into Hermitcraft / The Life series is like taking a breath of fresh air, because so many online communities can be toxic, but you guys are so positive and silly. It's amazing. I always enjoy watching your videos. Smiles.
I think all the hermits, we want to foster a community that we would want to be a part of and or be a part of. So, I mean, if something's being pretty negative or whatever, we generally try to like be like, nope. So yeah, I think that plays a huge key, is like the community you create, is that a community that you want to be a part of? Like, if I wasn't on the camera and I was in the chat, like, this would be a community that I would want to be a part of, and that makes me happy because it's a community that I would want to have. So like keeping it positive, and like 90% of that work goes out to the mods, like, you know, keeping an eye, keeping the shenanigans at bay. There's great powers of shenanigans afoot, always, every day. So they do a good job of keeping things orderly. Yeah, come on now. That looks nice. We need a tree. But yeah, I mean, nothing's. Oh! My boy! What have you done to my boy? Not again. Jeez. This is why we can't have nice things. This is why we can't have nice things. Oh dear. Oh dear. Oh dear. Oh dear. Oh dear. Oh boy. You know what I'd say for like a positivity thing? This especially applies to like whenever I talk about like Star Wars or Disney and stuff like that, because there's always in these cases, like, I don't know, you like have to be positive about everything. I think we have a pretty decent measure at just being real and saying, like, especially when we talk about stuff, I think for the most part people are pretty chill. It's like we talk what we like and we don't, you know, we talk about what we like, we talk about what we don't like, and it's like a healthy like mix. I think that's always what's nice about the community too, is that we can talk about things we like and we dislike. We can respect people for what they like and don't like. So I know that's at least how I've always tried to keep it, is that like, if you like this show that I don't like, that's cool. I honestly, I'd rather be liking something than not liking something. Because I just find, like, in the world now, it's like algorithm, like we talked about before, rewards negativity, and corporations, especially for influencers, reward positivity. And there's just reward systems out there that are just not great. And I think for the most part, we try to like just talk about what we like and don't like and be honest what we like and don't like. I think that's what's nice. Because the sad fact is, like, a lot of influencers / YouTubers, content creators out there are influenced by those two things. They're influenced by the allure of being praised and or given free stuff by a corporation, or being rewarded by creating something drama-filled that generates clicks. And it's both reward systems are flawed and not healthy. And they're always full on display. Especially like certain like fan communities of IPs out there. But yeah, it's wild, like, because you can smell it a mile away, right? Like you can smell that. You can smell it like when somebody's being disingenuous, like saying that they didn't like something, and they're like, or somebody's being like super like overly annoyingly positive, and it's like, but yeah, it's annoying. Let's see. There we go. There we go. Put that like that. Nice. I'm not even talking about Twitter. I'm mostly talking about YouTube, because that's where the incentive lies. Because incentive-wise on YouTube.
Silence_24 tipped $3. Wait, also I saw a few people saying you're banned from Canada. Is this true?
Yeah, those Canadians. Canadians, they don't like what I did in that pool. No, they do not. But as I said, YouTube, it's where it's on full display, because that's where there's like incentives to do that. You know where another place is that's wild, I found? Is like YouTube Shorts for branded like content that's not disclosed is so rampant. It's like, hey everybody, I got this great new water bottle. Come with me as we try it out for the day. I just love like everything about it. Like the straw has this particular bend, and it was sourced from eco-friendly materials. And it's like, I noticed you didn't mark that as a ad, or disclose that it was an ad. I noticed that. I've been really cognizant lately of seeing this more and more, of people flaunting like disclosure laws. And because I'm an old YouTuber, and I've seen it all. So I've seen when there was no disclosure at all, and then there was a huge push by the US government to like crack down on that with like the FCC or whatever it was. And there was like fines divvied out. There's all this stuff. This is like going back like 6, 7, 8 years ago, right? But I'm seeing it start to get to the point where people die. What in the world? Why did you turn zombie? Oh man. I'm starting to see it like pop up again, of people flaunting those things. You shouldn't be ashamed to admit something as an ad. Like for me, like, you know, Factor sponsors me. I'm very grateful for that. It helps me like support my channel, helps support my like parents and stuff like that. It's appreciative, right? And I think you guys understand that that's a sponsor. I disclose that that's a sponsor. I mark it as a sponsor, you know, in any case, like it's not that hard. And I think viewers appreciate like honesty of being told like, this is a sponsor. And I think, you know, you can skip it if you choose, or, you know, if it appeals to you, fantastic, whatever. Like, it's not that hard to disclose. And I think your audience appreciates just being honest with them, if that makes sense. Like, it just makes sense to me. So yeah, I see that more and more. It's annoying to me. This is the Scar's grievance stream, apparently. How do you heal these guys again? It's a poison and a golden apple, right? I feel like we have to heal him. We have to heal him. We're off to Beat Up's potion shop. We're taking a detour. Weakness, not poison. It's a weakness potion. Okay. If somebody were to ask, what's the difference between potion and weakness? Potion, weakness, I assume, just maybe takes hearts away, whereas poison gradually takes hearts away. I feel like such dumb for saying that. Scar, how long have you been playing Minecraft for? Poison kills, weakness makes weak. That actually makes sense. That makes sense. A wild etho approaches. A wild etho. Yeah, he probably heard He was probably at the Canada meeting, and they told him about what I did in that pool. Oof. All right. Oh, this is hard to read, B-dubs. Let's see. Fire resist, invisibility, boost, jump, night vision, speed, strength, water breathe, weakness. Is it weakness? Is this what we wanted? Oh, let's go. Let's go. How much is this? 3 potions for a diamond. B-dubs, I do not have the inventory space. That's not the box I'm looking for. Where are the boxes I'm looking for? There you are. I'll come back later for my other 2. I'll be back. I'll be back. Okay, we got that. Sweet. He does sense I was talking about Canadians. Oh, look at the pink slippers. I forgot about those. Oh, those are so funny. Oh, yeah, we got to do the shovel. Got to do the shovel. Man, the shopping district looks great. My next Hermitcraft episode, I have this running plan. Skiz is on me about my permits. He's trying to reap me. He's got the bells and the skin on. It's a whole thing. I got a plan for him. I got a good plan. Whoa, diversion. Does Etho still have the skylight, by the way? Let's see if Etho has the skylight. Oh, he fixed the roof. Oh, he fixed the roof. It looks good. I was honestly going to fix that. He didn't need to fix it. I was going to. Oh, that looks really nice. Oh, that looks cool. That fits so well with the rest of the build. Oh, that looks really good. So like he has like a consistent theme across here with like the tunnel and everything. That looks really nice. Well done, Etho. Well done. Well done. All right, we need a golden apple. Must get a golden apple. Dude, I had a dream last night about my season 11 base, and I got really excited, by the way. I got a really cool idea for what potentially I could have as a hat. And I'm very excited. And it's going to be amazing. And I'm very excited. So, season 11 base is, oh, so excited about it. It's going to be amazing. Whoa. Why is that not working? What did I do wrong? It's a golden apple, right? I swear it's a golden apple.
Terraglows cheered X300. Scar, have you gotten your Christmas tree already? And curious, do you have any favorite ornaments?
Ooh, our tree took a tumble and broke a lot of ornaments. I got some repairing to do on some of those. We have not got our Christmas tree. Normal golden apple, golden not and did I? Oh no, I wasted a golden special apple. What was I thinking? Oh. Sparkly, non-sparkly. Dang it, Scar. I do have a few favorite ornaments. One of them is one I made as like a 5-year-old. I like, it's just like a spool of, it's just a spool from thread. Especially when I was a kid, my mom made a lot of our own clothes and made a lot of her clothes. And so she always had a lot of like bobbins, like the little like thread thing. And I made an ornament out of one of those that was like sparkly. It was like silver. I don't know why. It's just like a nice memory as a kid. And then there's this really fun one of Santa Claus on a canoe I've always liked. I don't know why. I just always like putting that one up. Yeah, there's lots of fun little ornaments that like tie into like my childhood that I do enjoy. We don't have our tree up. We used to always go and get our tree on Thanksgiving. So we don't really have a lot of family where we live. So we used to always just go and get the tree, and we didn't this time, but hopefully, well, since COVID, I guess we got a fake tree, but I really want to get a real tree this year. So I hope we get a real tree, because I think Finny and KDB would really like to have a real tree. But trees, my gosh, I sound like an old man here, but geez Louise, guys, when did trees become $50 in the Northwest? When I first moved here, trees were $5. I'll tell you that right now. I sound like a get off my lawn old kook, but I'll be honest, when we moved from California to the Northwest, Christmas trees, I'm not joking you, Christmas trees here, the top tier Christmas tree, like the ones with the really like stiff needles, they were like maybe $15 at like the 12 or more foot range. And then just an average Christmas trees were like $5. You went it, you sawed it yourself, you know, you got it out the saw, you did the whole thing. Now it's like $59 at the cheapest for a tree. It's like, woof. Trees these days, am I right? I mean, yeah, you get to play with the donkey, but still, it's like, you know, his name's Elvis, so it helps, you know, with the sting. But you know, like, come on, $50. Where did the $5 trees go? Even like 2018, if you guys remember, I made a video of going to get a Christmas tree once, and they were like $20 back then.
Hi Scar, I'm curious.
Crazy.
When you meet up with hermits in real life, do you call each other by your gamer names or your given names?
Oh, we're hook, line, sinker stuck in our ways. I call Impulse, Tanga, Gem, Cub. But then like some of the Life series members like Joel, well, Joel's Hermitcraft now, but like Joel, I call Joel. I have no idea what the reason being that we call each other for what we call, like, why is Joel when he could be Beans? He could be your Beans, but no, we call him Joel. Or like, well, like Ollie, like I just call him Mr. Whimsical. Like I saw him at TwitchCon, I'm like, Whimsical man, Mr. Whimsical. But yeah, we pretty much just call each other screen names. Like if I got to go to the charity event last time, I would have been Greon. Yeah, Scott is Scott. Yeah. Okay, I think that's looking decent right across here. I think that's looking good. The cheapest you cut trees around us are $80 in the Pacific Northwest. Dang. I don't know if you're at the Seattle end or the Portland end or whatever, but yeah, that's a lot, man. Yeah, it's crazy. Like, I know, like, when we lived in California, trees were expensive. Like, you know, you got to haul them all down here, you know, all that. But when the tree's growing right there that you're cutting it down, it's like, woof. Trees these days, am I right? I get you're trying to lure me in with the donkey named Elvis, but still expensive. We almost moved in next door to the tree farm. How cool would it be to live next to a tree farm? I don't know why. Does it sound cool to live by a tree farm? We almost moved next to a tree farm. I think it would be cool to live by a tree farm. I think it's like good energy, right? Lots of trees growing and stuff. What have I done? Oh, zombie doctor. I am a bit of a doctor. Hey, you're all healed. Look at you looking good. You probably got sweet trades. Look at that, discounts all around, guys.
Hi Scar, I just want to say you're my role model and inspire me, and your content's got me through a lot. Love your content and you're truly one of my favorite people.
Oh, that's very nice of you. Thank you for the nice message. Very, very much. A donkey farm would be cooler. Dude, I don't know. Like, I like donkeys, but they get pretty loud. Can you imagine a whole pack of them just going, like, that'd be kind of, ow, I broke myself. That'd be kind of wild. I don't know what just happened to my voice. It's gone, guys. I broke myself. I hurt myself being a donkey. Hey, what happened to Scar? Well, he was imitating a donkey and he like blew out his voice. Some people blow out their back with hard work. Scar blew it out imitating a donkey. Blew his voice out. He blew it out with a donkey voice. I hope it comes back, guys. That'd be really good. Oh man. Live by a pecan farm. Well, that's cool. That's cool. I'm just trying to add just trying to add a little bit extra detail across here. I think we're back, guys. No, wait, what happened? Phrasing? No, wait, what did I do? I'm paranoid now. What did I do? What did I do? I'm paranoid now. No, I'm good. I'm good. I'm good. Okay. Good. I'm like, what did I do now? What have I done? Okay, I'm happy with this. Let's finish this area over here off a little bit more, and then we'll be good. So for my next episode of Hermitcraft, so the big thing that I want to get done is the mob shop. So think of this more as like the next few episodes. Like when I can like shake off like the overthinking, the kind of like creative, like it's not that this is what's interesting about my Hermitcraft videos is it's not really a lack of creativity at the moment. It's like a atrophy of like doing it, overthinking, and then just some like kind of like serious like stuff going on in the background that also like pulls you away here and pulls you away there and there. So it's like if I can like shake off that and just shake it off, then I could be able to get it done. And when I do, the main things that I want to accomplish is the zoo's entrance, the mob boss shop. So those are the big things that I want to achieve. Why am I adding the carpets? Just to add depth. It just adds that like little like sliver of extra depth to it, which I think is nice. So just adding that, I think just adds like just a little extra detail. Anyway, so those are the big things once I get going. Is the entrance, once I get the entrance complete, that'll be good. And to do that, I need to get my health in line. That's a big thing.
I live near a bog. It's an important bog to us. The pine trees growing there damage the bog. For any donation you want, the bog preservers will cut you a tree. I don't live in the US, but you can literally give about $5 to $10 and you're helping the bog.
I feel like a dum-dum. What's the bog? I'm sorry, I don't know what the bog is. Like, is a bog like, dude? When I think of bog, the first thing that comes to my mind is like where like a monster lives, and it's like you're paying a toll to keep the monster where the monster is, so the monster doesn't come and eat the town. It's a swamp. Okay, only time I've ever heard a bog, I feel like it's in some relation to like a monster of some kind, like the monster lives in the bog. And I was maybe thought that wasn't even a thing just from the show, from movies or games. It's just a swamp. Okay, so it's a swamp, so protect the swamp. Okay, I gotcha. Dude, I was like, my head was going all sorts of places. It's also slang for a toilet in the UK. Oh, that's funny. Gotta hit the bog. Is that like in relation to like old timey times when it was like a, like a porta potty and there was just literally like a bog under the toilet full of people's poop? Maybe, who knows? Could be where it came from. Like you're sitting on a bog. I don't know. Maybe. I was curious, like, so it's not used much in England. Is it more of like a regional area? Like one particular area has that particular like saying? Because I've found like through, content creation, be able to meet so many people from around the world, like especially in England, like the zones of accents and use of different words is so interesting to me, because England is like, comparison to like United States is much smaller, right? So there's these like very small pockets of so many different accents and different words. It's really fascinating. Like United States, like, it has its areas, but they're like much more broad. There's kind of like a southern type of accent and a few specific different dialects within that, and you have the Midwestern areas, all kind of the, it's kind of the same kind of Midwestern vibe, a lot of milk, a lot of sweaters. And then the East Coast kind of has its side, the West Coast kind of has their thing. But the UK is so interesting. It's so like specific and so like niche into like areas. It's so interesting. Let's see, let's add some of these guys. Does Scar have some type of accent? I'm sure I do, of some kind. Some kind of something. Some kind of California slash somewhat Pacific Northwest.
I would suggest just making a short video doing a catch up with the other hermits.
It's a good idea.
A no-build video is perfectly fine. It could ease the pressure of putting out an episode.
It's a good idea. I don't know if I could do it. I genuinely have such a very, very difficult time not creating something in an episode. Like it's just like, it's really hard to do that. It's really difficult to make it's really difficult to make a episode without some form of content. Scar 100% has a Pacific Northwest grandpa accent. What is this grandpa part? What is this grandpa business we have in here? What's this grandpa we threw on the end there? What is this? I figured the song from like the Haunted Mansion Holiday. What's this? What's this I hear?
Zip Zappo cheered Dex 300. I don't want to bring down the mood of the stream, but speaking of Christmas, I love how positive Hermitcraft is, but have found some of the more serious moments in your videos very touching too. I still think about how lovely it was when you acknowledged how the holidays can be difficult for some people if you've lost a family member. That's true for me personally, and it meant a lot to hear. You do an amazing job at talking about serious topics in a way that's very comforting. Less than 3.
Oh, I appreciate that. I try to always bring some level of respect to those kind of conversations for sure. The holidays are fantastic. They also remind you of, especially as you get older, what you don't have anymore. So it's important to, a reminder that friends, family, pets, anything is to like cherish those moments you do have with those people, because you never know when they will not be with you anymore. And sometimes the holidays can bring up those memories. Holidays are fantastic, but they also can bring up those memories. Like, it's sad. I know for this year particularly, Christmas has been weird for me because this was like our last days we had with Jelly. So it's sad. Like, I've asked us not to have like the same. Like, I asked us to move the Christmas tree. Like, I didn't want it in the same spot. So we're gonna move it so it's not in the same spot. But yeah, I know I for sure, like, I think as you get older too, I like miss my grandparents and my aunt and stuff, especially around Christmas
in
too.
Scotland. It's not really big, and it's not really a tourist attraction, but if you tie it in with other things in the area, like the castle on the island in the loch, it could be a good day out.
What's the loch? I know that's a what would be a lock? Is that like locks for like moving boats up and down, or is a lock also referred to? Oh, it's referred to as a lake. Okay, so a lake. Okay, all right, I gotcha. Because I was wondering, is that like in the United States, like we have like a lock just up there over the Columbia River, like where the big giant barges and stuff, they go like up and down. So in Scottish it's called a lake. Okay, that's what I was wondering. Because I was like, I think that is okay, so a loch is a lake. Oh, interesting. Okay. Oh wow, we're learning all sorts of fun things today. Swamp is a bog, loch is a lake in Scotland. How interesting. I like learning new things. Oh, the Loch Ness Monster. That's okay. That makes sense. Dude, I hook, line, and sinker as a kid, was 100% on board. There was a Loch Ness monster. I feel like, you know, probably not. But when I was a kid, loved Nessie. Loved Nessie. Probably had a couple Nessie toys. Poor Nessie. Loch Ness monster. There were so many shows in the United States about the Loch Ness monster back in the day. Like, you know, like in-depth, like analyzing photos on like TLC or the History Channel, and, you know, like zooming in and enhancing and like trying to figure it out. The only thing that we have is DB Coop. Who is it? The guy, the parachute guy, the guy who robbed the bank, got on the plane, parachuted, and the FBI's like searched for him. Like DB Cooper. That's our like Loch Ness monster / Bigfoot in our area. that's our he parachuted like 20 miles back there somewhere. So that's our Loch Ness monster that they've been searching for longer than I've been alive, obviously. And Bigfoot, that's true. Bigfoot's chilling out there. He's out there somewhere. He's chilling in the Pacific Northwest. Classic Bigfoot. Why does this keep happening every time I look away? Boom, a bam, an explosion everywhere. What are you doing to my forest? What are you doing to my forest? Leave my forest alone. Gosh, can a man read his chat in peace? I know my brother doesn't watch my streams anymore, so I can say this. I got my nephew something really cool. I'm really excited about it for Christmas, by the way. I had to tell somebody, and I got to tell you guys. So I wanted to get him a lightsaber, right? He's just about to turn 10, and I was looking at some like really cool collector's ones, but I was like, you know what? If I put myself in his position, I feel like at that age, I really would have preferred like a toy, like a more of a toy one. I think I would appreciate maybe the collector's one later on, but I want something to just like, you know, whack people with, you know? And his favorite character is Ahsoka. He's a Clone Wars kid at heart, which is amazing. And his favorite character is Ahsoka. And so I was looking at Ahsoka lightsabers to start with, and boy howdy, those things can get pretty pricey up in the collector's edition, up in the $600 to $700 to $800, and that doesn't even include a blade. There was one that Disney had that was cool, that was like all metal and this and that, but it was out of stock, and I was like, But I did find some pretty cool on the Disney website Ahsoka lightsabers. They're plastic and they're toys, but they have like a good blade that actually has the LED strips that make it go bzzz, you know, like shoots up, and then you wave it, it makes the sound, and you hit you know, something with it, it makes additional sound. So it's two of them. They also have belt clips that you hook onto the lightsaber and then onto your belt. Dude, when I was a kid, if I could hook a lightsaber to my belt, it's over. Like that's just the bee's knees for me. And I'm really excited. I cannot wait for him to get it. I think he'll really like it. So when he's a little older, I'm gonna get him a nice lightsaber. Now I went down the lightsaber rabbit hole. Whew, guys, I had to get pulled out of it, honestly. Like I was looking up like, you know, third party ones. Leave me alone. Like third party. And then, you know, try to figure out like, do these people actually make the lightsaber? Do they just buy it and resell it? Can you just buy directly from the manufacturers that make it and avoid the middleman? Like I was going all out, guys. I was going all out. I need some recommendations. If there's good lightsaber places out there that, you know, there's some custom ones. I found one that makes lightsabers in the United States. Boy howdy, those things were like $800. Those were expensive. A little more than I wanted to spend, obviously. But I'm on the hunt for a lightsaber because I have the Galaxy's Edge. I have the Galaxy's Edge Darth Vader one, which I really like. I think this is actually a really good lightsaber. But I'm looking for, I want a Luke Skywalker lightsaber to go along with it. And at some point, I would love to get the Cal Kestis lightsaber. Because I don't know, I feel like this weird connection to that lightsaber for how much I've played that lightsaber on a video game. So it's like, yeah, I wielded that lightsaber. I took down all those bad guys with that lightsaber. I need that lightsaber. There was a cool lightsaber vendor at TwitchCon. I never got a chance to see it. We were so busy.
Hello Pookie, it's me again. I wanted to tell you that it is also my first Christmas without a pet of mine. His name was Beluchin. He was 14 years old and already very old. The previous week we had to put him to sleep and it was a very difficult process, but seeing you makes me feel that everything is not finished. I really value your big heart and strong spirit even after everything you have had to go through. I love you so much again, time.
Oh, that's very nice. Thank you for the message. And yeah, don't. One thing I got after Jelly Pass was like, I just distinctively did not want any other pets. Like I was very much like kind of against it until little Finny and little KDB came over, and it was like, oh, oh, it was such like a missed part in my like heart of not having a pet. And it's not that you're replacing one pet, you're just, you know, taking in another pet. And so I see it someday you'll have another pet, my friend, you'll love too. That was it for me. That was the case for me for sure. But okay, I think this area finally looks decent. Let's fly up into Cheaty Cam here for a second. Okay, good. We will make a little, I think we should make some kind of a little river, maybe even a dried riverbed through here, which I think could look really cool. But at least it's starting to look better. Because if you're here, when you look across, obviously I need to do some work over there, but when you look across here, you start to see some like finished landscaping, which is nice. Yeah, I think the drive riverbed would look better than just doing another actual water river, because we have a lot of those existing through here, so we have lots of rivers. How to do it? I would suspect that I would probably start to think about using a little bit of some of these materials. I think we'd start using maybe some of these, maybe some coarse dirt. Do like a transition out, right? So you could do blackstone, you could do some of these darker browns, and then go into like a lighter dried up brown, which could be some of those. I think that's our color palette for sure. Let's see. Epic Universe looks so cool. I'm going in June. Whoa, my friend, you're gonna have a blast. Epic Universe looks fantastic. I would love to go. I would love to go. I don't know how many rides that I could go on. That's kind of the problem with Universal, is like a lot of cool stuff, but I don't know how many rides that I could go on. But Epic Universe looks fantastic. You're gonna have a blast. Oh man, that Donkey Kong ride looks so cool. It's like innovative, of having the broken track portions and you jump over them, the Dark Universe area. I'm excited for the Train Your Dragon area. Apparently there's a flying dragon. Like Disney had a flying dragon for 5 seconds. They had it for like 5 seconds and then got rid of it. They're gonna have one. It's gonna be cool. Make it boggy. Yeah, it'll be really cool. It'll be really cool. I'm excited. I have to go to it someday. Just because I've been watching the construction for like 4 years, like how could I not at this point? And maybe there's rides that I can go on. Maybe I just don't understand Universal's accessibility options. Maybe there are rides I can go on. Like, I don't know if they have rides that, like, the benefit of Disney always for me was that when I went to Disney, it always felt like I wasn't like a huge hindrance on the people around me, and I could do a lot of the things that other people around me could do, instead of me being like, hey, have fun, I'll hold your coat, I got the cooler, if anybody needs a drink, I'm the drink guy. No, I could be with everybody else and go on rides and stuff like that. So I don't know, like, for rides at Universal, do they have like some ride vehicles that are slightly modified so you can slide onto them easier, or do they have ride vehicles you can roll onto? I don't know enough about it, but I would like to go to Universal for sure. But yeah, someday I would like to go. Someday I'd like to go on a vacation in general. That'd be fun. But I'm being ultra careful right now with my health bad. Like, I'm trying to be like super careful because I wanted to for Christmas for my parents was to get them a vacation, but unfortunately, I think if I got sick right now, like traveling, I think it would not be fantastic. So I'm trying to be careful right now. Trying to be maybe a little too careful, but trying to be careful. Because I figured if I get sick that I'd be out for like a month at minimum. And that'd be cruddy. That'd be cruddy. We got stuff to do. We got a zoo to procrastinate about, guys. Remember the zoo? We got to procrastinate about that. We got to procrastinate. But yeah, once I shake off this like overthinking thing and get it going, we're going to start on this. It's going to be amazing. And now with wildlife concluding, that's like 3 days back of a week or more, sometimes more. So with wildlife concluding next week, I don't think we're going to make it much past the next episode at this point, guys. The likelihood of a future episode, I think there's too many people out for blood here. There's a lot of reds. There's a lot of reds. Yeah, and I don't know if I don't know. I guess I won't have my Scar Smash ability. That's sad. But yeah, this will work, guys. This will be great. We'll get this all sorted out. I'm feeling like I'm getting there to the point of starting this again. So hopefully Hermitcraft videos will return soon. And as always, guys, thank you so much for coming out to the stream. Hopefully my merchandise, like I said, like I've been so busy and I overthought things too long. It's gotten to the point where it's taken a long time to get to this point, but the artists all did a fantastic and amazing job. So I'll reveal it soon. I'm going to start working on it hopefully tonight, and we'll hopefully get that going. It'll be cool. Like I showed you some of the stuff before. It looks really cool. But yeah, guys, thank you so much for coming out. This was a very fun stream, and it was good just to have a chill, laid back stream where we forgot to tweet. Did I tweet? I forgot to tweet. Yep, forgot to tweet. No, I did tweet. Oh, good. Did I tweet? Yes, I did tweet. Good. I always forget to tweet. And when I do remember it, it's always a good feeling. All right. Who is out there in the wonderful worlds of Twitch to raid? Hello, hello, hello. Hello, hello, hello. Is that a Wild Cub fan? It is. It's a Wild Cub playing Satisfactory. Dude, I want to get on there. Man, I love Satisfactory. I played it a long while ago. It was so funny, by the way. Tango was like, Scar, you play Satisfactory? I'm like, dude, if you saw me play Satisfactory, you'd think I was a redstoner in Hermitcraft or Minecraft in general. Like, in that, like, I don't care about aesthetics or how things look. It's all about utility and function. I haven't played it for a while. I played it, like, kind of when it first came out, and I put 80 hours into it. I loved it. It was good fun. These guys are really making me want to play it again. I got addicted. I don't know if I could play it again. I get so addicted to games like this. It's like the beaver game. Like, I got so into the beaver game. I was building dams, I was building pathways and tree farms. There's a whole thing. And don't get me started on transport fever. Oh, don't get me started on that. We start talking about trains, it's all over. All right, guys. Once again, thank you so much for all the subscriptions, resubscriptions, the bits, the tips,